This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
He leads the long test marching band of other Sunday. Also part of the School's American Scientific Club. Long test leading the Spirit Committee.
Good evening from John Clark Stadium in Plano, the property of the Plano Independent School District. Tonight, from this stadium, Flower Mound will try to get back in the win column against the Plano Senior High Wildcats. I'm Barry Probst, soon to be joined by Taylor Wilson here shortly, as it is homecoming for Plano tonight. Last week, Flower Mound had their homecoming event and extravaganza back at the site of Neil Wilson Stadium back in Flower Mound. Tonight, it is the Plano Wildcats hosting Flower Mound and having their own homecoming. We want to thank sponsors of Flower Mound football that include Steve Swanson at Whirly Ball for sponsoring this broadcast. Corporate events, team building, and private parties are more fun when you are zipping around than a whirly bug. And they have the most affordable laser tag in town. How about that? 2 locations to serve you, Plano and Hearst. Leagues are starting up now, so visit them online at whirlyball.info for more information. We'd also like to thank Lynn's Cap Photo Marketing, a professional corporate business and event photography company. They provide a visual history of your event through high-quality images. Remember, when planning that special event, hire the photographer you need to get the pictures you want. For more information, please check their ad in the Jaguar football program or visit them online at lynscapmarketing.com. And Taylor, we've got a couple of teams here tonight that licking their wounds, I guess, from last week's big losses. Flower Mound losing to a great McKinney Boyd team, 46-6, and Plano getting pounded by Allen, 42-3. You can almost fill in the blank, getting pounded by Allen, and fill in the blank of the score. That is kind of the norm. But you know, both those teams, everyone knows Allen is great, nationally ranked in the top 5, and then McKinney Boyd, very underrated. A lot of people are they're playing Plano West tonight, by the way, another 6-6A battle, and all of the morning news think tank, except I think one guy, are picking Plano West to win that. And I heard them on the radio after the games talking about kind of rubber stamping Plano West into the second pole position place, if you will, behind Allen, and I was kind of like, well, wait till you see McKinney Boyd, and I talked to John Henry a little bit via email afterward, and surprisingly, not too many of their guys really none of them are getting any D1 looks, but they sure looked the part last week.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear that they're not getting a lot of D1 looks, just because we did see an impressive offense and impressive defense, and they've won a few big games this year, and they looked very impressive last week, and so tonight I'm excited to see how they fare out there against Plano West, because like you said, only one of those Dallas Morning News writers took McKinney Boyd. I think they stand a better chance than that of picking up a win tonight.
Yeah, elsewhere in 6-6A tonight, Flower Mound Marcus, I believe, is hosting Allen. So, look out there for the Marauders, the hosting Allen, and later on this season, Flower Mound will get the chance to play Allen back here at this stadium, I do believe, if memory serves correctly. But as it is tonight, they've got the Plano Wildcats on deck tonight. And so I think these teams, Taylor, kind of match up pretty well. I mean, Plano might have a little bit of size advantage. Coach Johnson, who we'll hear from in a moment, alluded to that they lack in size just kind of in every matchup. They don't lack in tenacity and toughness, and they don't really lack in discipline or, sound assignment football. And that's what he said. It kind of got away from them, and they want to get back to that.
Right, and last week we did see them play more disciplined. I think they only ended up with 4 penalties last week, and that was the one category where they did outplay McKinney Boyd. Boyd came out and had about 15 penalties for 150 yards. It was a penalty-filled game for them, but Flower Mound is a disciplined team, and they have a lot of talent. They may be outsized, but we know they have talent. Logan Davis is a great leader of this team. Evan Curl on the line definitely has some size. He's one of the players that does have quite a bit of size. And so I definitely think this is going to be a good matchup tonight, and we should see a pretty good football game here between the Wildcats and the Jaguars.
Well, Flower Mound football also brought to you by Point of Origin Design, a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products online at pointoforigindesign.com and shockboxdfw.com. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit shockboxdfw.com today. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar football pregame, the Whirly Ball pregame show on Champion Sports Radio.
Leave the grilling to the amateurs and score the matchup of the century. Raising Cane's Tailgates with jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Cane's Tailgates get your appetite in the game with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. They're fresh as a rookie, seasoned like a pro, and an automatic first down at any tailgate party. So when it's time for the big game, pick up some tailgates and jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Now that's what I call a huddle. Raising Cane's, one love.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShockboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Welcome back to the Whirly Ball pregame show. Barry Probst and Taylor Wilson with you here up in the booth. We got to speak to head coach Dane Johnson of the Flower Mound Jaguars earlier this evening out on the field while they were conducting warm-ups. And Coach Johnson had all this to say.
Well, I'm down here with head coach Dane Johnson. And, Coach, you'd had some close ones first three games, and last week kind of got away a little. Well, they got away a little bit early. The question is, when you get down any amount, double digits, whatever, does that kind of change your game plan any?
No, not really, not for us. Usually when we get down like that, we just try to get something going to stop the bleeding. But they would not let us get anything going last week, and it just snowballed in a hurry.
Yeah.
And then it was just hold on and try to do something, you know.
You guys run a lot of 4 and 5 wides, the quarterback sprint draw, so it's kind of still that game plan, isn't it, throughout?
Yeah, the way our offense is set up, it doesn't matter if you're up by 50 or down by 50, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we never had to panic that way, but we just couldn't click. We just couldn't get anything going, man. And a lot of us because of how they played us. So
you said it was one of the best offensive lines you'd face, and in your estimation, is that borne out pretty much to this point? Yeah.
Yeah, they were good and they played well. They did a couple things that just kind of rattled our kids a little bit, and we never seemed to quite calm down. We just kind of lost our composure, and then they stepped on our neck, and we could never get it back, you know, and we just got rattled.
That's what I was going to ask. When you got down more than you were used to, you'd been down. You'd been down double digits against Byron Nelson would come back, and you'd made comebacks in those. But when you got down, did your kids kind of panic a little, or they just got taken out of their element?
We got taken out of our element, and then we were real disappointed because we wanted to play better than that. We knew Floyd's a good team, but we knew we were better than that. So, just kind of all that at once. We had our home crowd, and our homecoming. Our kids wanted to show out and play their best, and it just didn't happen. So then we kind of got shell-shocked. I think we started pouncing a little bit, because we didn't do what we wanted. Got embarrassed, got a little humble. But the way it goes in sports, it's about bouncing back from the next play as fast as you can.
Any area that you want to see improvement the most from, say, last week or even the week before to tonight?
Every week, last night. That was the worst tackling job we've done. Now, we faced a really good running back, but not all of those were him. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see us get back to tackling how we did the previous 2 weeks. We had very little missed tackles the previous 2 weeks. Yeah. And last week, we reverted back to how we were last year, which was disappointing to everybody. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see us do a lot better at our tackling. And offensively, we got rattled, and then we started hurrying everything. We wouldn't let the play develop. And so I'd like to see us have more patience and let the stuff open up and take it instead of just, giving up on it too quick and trying to do something else.
Does that include involving your hounds more than normal, or about the same, you think?
It'll be about the same. We're just trying to use our strengths. And I think our receivers are our strengths right now. And so we're trying to get them in there and involved as much as we can. So we always want to run the ball, always. But we'll try to establish that tonight again, too, because you're just better off if you can run the ball. But you got to take what the defense is giving you, too. So.
Nolan McDaniel, you going to have him back tonight? Or?
I think so. He practiced all week. It popped out again during the week, but he's gotten to the point now where it pops out so much it's no big deal. So he just puts it back in. All right, Coach, I'm ready. So I think we'll see a lot more of him, which will help.
Any other guys missing tonight that have been there, or everybody's pretty much back?
I think we got everybody back and stayed healthy from last week. So we'll try to get back to playing how we were the first 2 games and cut out the mistakes. See if we can't win our first district ball game.
In Plano, a team that you see kind of matches up well with you, or you match up well with them? That kind of?
Everybody's bigger than us.
Okay.
I mean, you stand here and you look at our linemen, you look at their linemen, you look at their defensive line. But yeah, they're just as much as anybody else. Mm-hmm. It's a tough distance.
Yeah, indeed.
So it doesn't matter. You got to play well, and you got to play disciplined and sound. So I think we match up with everybody in this district. I think we can beat anybody in our district. But we have to play better than we have the last 2 times.
Right. Well, Coach, good luck tonight.
Appreciate it.
And the rest of the season, as always. Thanks, Dan. That is Coach Dane Johnson of Flower Mound.
Back here, up in the booth in the press box during the Whirly Ball pregame show, and you got to hear Coach Johnson's thoughts there and what he thought, the way they matched up with other teams. And he's right. They largely do match up with a lot of these teams, and he was also right in that they let Dedrick Scrivens kind of dictate a lot of what he got rather than what they could have actually prevented him from getting. It was a frustrating deal because, yes, he is talented, and, yes, he put on a show, but some of that was, in his mind, and probably rightly so, Flower Mound allowing him to put on the show and rather than preventing him from doing as much as he did.
Without a doubt, and coming further into district play, Flower Mound's going to face off against a lot of talented running backs. And so he said, you heard Coach Johnson say that in the first couple games, they didn't have very many missed tackles. And then last week, suddenly, you were seeing a lot of missed tackles. And so that's something I'm sure he wants to see improve tonight. And as the season progresses, because this entire district is full of top-flight running backs, And so week in and week out, they're going to be facing off against a Dedrick Scrivens or someone similar. And that's what we've seen so far this season. Every team the Jaguars have faced off against has had a strong running game.
Well, shifting gears a little bit now to some of the action that happened on Thursday night. Wiley East beat McKinney North in a big shootout, 49-46. I wonder if that ended like that. I don't know if you got to see the Cal-Arizona game last week.
Hail Mary.
I stayed up and watched that because I know Sonny Dykes. Sonny Dykes filled in for me a long time ago at a job I had. So I know Sonny, and he's the coach of Cal, and I was willing him to get a win. But, Arizona, they were down 15. They didn't give up. They scored. And, a Hail Mary, the last play of the game, it's something you think you try to draw up, and boy, they drew that up beautifully, did the Arizona Wildcats, because the last play of the game. And this says sophomore Eno Benjamin scored 5 TDs, including the game winner with 4:09 left. Not as quite dramatic as the Arizona Cal outcome. And he helped Wiley East to a come-from-behind victory over McKinney North on Thursday at Ron Post Stadium. McKinney North's running back Ronald Jones did outduel Eno, rushing for 393 yards and 6 TDs. Wow! And that's not even in the 6-6A that features so many incredible backs. We're going to see one here in a couple of weeks in Sosa Jamambo, who had 484 yards in one contest. I mean, that's coming up. That'll be at the end of the season finale. But, wow, this district is full of backs, and then to think that McKinney North and their district in 10-5A has them too. That's another tough district with a lot of teams that are very competitive, much like this one. Arlington Bowie nipped Arlington Sam Houston 28-27 thanks to Irvin Hill scoring on a 1-yard run with 13 seconds left. Well, that was actually, he scored that, and Sam Houston failed to make the 2-point conversion, and Arlington Bowie held on for dear life. Keller Fossil Ridge beat Justin Northwest in another high-scoring outcome, 52-42, thanks to Keyshawn Mitchell rushing for 281 yards and 4 touchdowns. The dream ended for R.L. Turner last night. I felt so bad for those guys. I saw the update on TV, and they only mustered 7 in their first loss of the season. They put 60 on the board the first 3 games of the season. Then they lose to Irving Nimitz, 28-7. Credit Irving Nimitz for shutting them down. They moved their record to 2-2, and R.L. Turner suffers their first loss of the season. But 3-1 is still pretty good for that outfit that's just had really dire seasons the last several years. Elsewhere, Garland Naaman Forest doubled up North Garland, 42-21. Again, more running backs, racking up big numbers this season. This one, Michael Nelson, who's the leading rusher in Area 6A, because Courtney Miles had dropped some. He was the leading rusher the first 3 weeks, and after last week he dropped some. Michael Nelson rushed for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns. And I asked Dane Johnson the question last week, does it surprise you about, the proliferation of these backs getting so many yards now? And in his estimation, the defenses had caught up, put another lineman up there. When the linebacker dropped back to defend, and then now the backs are offsetting it now. It seems like this happened over the course of about a year and a half, but it is just in spades this year. You see these running backs piling up big numbers game after game.
And it'll be interesting to see if we see that transition into the college ranks, simply because in the college ranks right now you see not the opposite, but you see way more prolific quarterbacks and prolific spread attacks than you do strong running backs, whereas just a few years ago it was mostly a game dominated by running backs. So we'll see if the high school game starts influencing the college game once again as they recruit this bevy of amazing running backs from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah, I mean, it's quarterbacks and receivers at the college game, like you say, and running backs, it's just a one-back set, and if anything, they're there to kind of keep the defense honest or provide blocks for the quarterback who's looking to scan the field. Elsewhere, Frisco Lone Star beat Little Elm 56-14. Lone Star quadrupling up Little Elm, and they moved their record to 5-0 overall, 3-0 in district, scoring on 7 of 8 possessions in the first half. 49-0 at the break they led. Wow. Frisco Centennial beat Frisco 41-7 thanks to Anthony Biggies running for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. West Mesquite put a 75 spot on South Garland, 75-27, with 517 yards of offense in their District 12 5A opener. South Garland, woo, the Colonels better look out over there. Defensive lineman Dwayne Shayuka recovered a fumble in the end zone, giving West Mesquite the lead for good. And then on the ensuing possession, they forced a punt, and Josh Butler returned it 75 yards for a 23-7 lead midway through the quarter. Elsewhere, Carrollton Creekview blanked Conrad 58-0. Hillcrest beat up North Dallas 56-6. Terrell moves to 4-0 on the season. They've been bad for several years in a row now. They've got a new coach and playing pretty well, and they are now at 4-0 with a 28-25 win over North Forney. Irving MacArthur beat W.T. White 66-37, and Samuel blanked Adamson 28-0. We'll take a quick break and come back for the opening kickoff here on the Whirly Ball pregame show on Champion Sports Radio.
Football fans, with a Raising Cane's tailgate on the table, this meal is going into overtime. The first overall pick for any game comes piled high with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. So let's hear the stats. That's 100 chicken fingers, 100% premium, and 100% delicious. And with cold, refreshing jugs of lemonade and sweet tea also coming straight out of Raising Cane's, well, let's just say that's a full roster of flavor. Raising Cane's, one love.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
Hey, honey, why are you home so late?
Don't even get me started.
Did Sally come in late again today?
Sally comes in late every day. Pete can't stay off the internet, and Roger does everything but his job. It gets so frustrating. My employees can't be accountable for their own actions.
You need to contact Strategic Direct Solutions, LLC. My company has been using SDS for years, and they have totally upgraded several positions for us.
That sounds like a great idea and a great solution.
Make sure your company has the best employees.
That's right, in the best positions, so your organization can achieve success. Strategic Direct Solutions is a staffing solutions firm which has been supporting small to Fortune 500 companies across North America, providing great talent.
Visit us on the web at www.sdsllc.com or call us at 972-355-7500, extension 305.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Back here at the Whirly Ball pregame show where we are almost set for kickoff. Tonight's starting lineups for Flower Mound. At quarterback, it'll be Logan Davis, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior. The Hound, or running back, Chris Boben, or it might be Ryan Daly. They've kind of alternated lately, but it should be probably Chris Boben to start it out. The center, Balin Smith. The guards, Dane Marwood on the left side, Ren Oob on the right. Nolan McDaniel should be back in the lineup, according to Coach Johnson, on the right tackle spot, and Evan Curl on the left. Thomas Jeffries, who had 2 catches for 34 yards last week, will be a split end on the left side. Clayton Johnson, the 6 foot, 200-pound senior on the right side, who had 3 catches for 19 yards last week. Nick Ryan, the 5'10", 170-pound senior. And Quentin Morris, or Freddie Jackson, will be the other starting wide out. And across the front on Plano's defense, Connor Welch and Sam Tecklenburg, the tackles. Tecklenburg, a Baylor commit. Brandon Wall and Tucker Polacia, the defensive ends on the left and right side, respectively. The linebackers from the Sam position, Jason Lee, Nima Beba Honey, the middle linebacker, and Colton Pusateri, the weak side linebacker. The cornerbacks are Aaron Regas and Dejon Howard. TJ Lee and Cody Farhat will be the safeties back there. But it turns out Flower Mound elected to defer and is going to kick off first. So across the Plano offense, we'll have Quinn Waterbury starting, the quarterback there. The running backs, Brandon Stevens and Bobby Gray. The tackles, Kadarius Smith and Isaiah Williams. Bohat, the center, Ben White and Austin Pugh, the guards. Matt Kirchner and Parker Myers, the receivers. And Sam Tecklenburg, we mentioned ago, he's a tight end on their offensive unit, as well as what he plays on defense. So momentary pause here in the action as we get set to get underway. We'll give you the rest of the starters on D for Flower Mound, who have kind of alternated from starting that 3-4 early in the season to a 4-3 last week. They moved Brandon Baskew kind of from bandit linebacker up to a defensive end, or at least he was playing that way last week. He may kind of alternate back there and forth there as they go from the 3-4 to the 4-3. Aaron Notches and Darrell Rutherford, the defensive tackle and nose tackle, and Hayden Brewer, the other defensive end, on the right side. The linebackers are Austin McKee at the Sam, Robert Darnell at the Mike, Tyson Spencer, the weak side linebacker, who's still having a really good season, Chris Irvin and Clayton Johnson, the cornerbacks, Blake Winters, the free safety, and Chandler Clatterbaugh, the strong safety. And we saw a good effort by those safeties last week, getting a turnover early and, hanging in there a while. It's just like Coach Johnson said, it snowballed on them and kind of got away from them.
Yeah, Clatterbaugh and Winters back there both came up and made some solid tackles throughout the week last week, but it's not always a good sign when your safeties are leading your team in tackles. But they did both play a solid game last week, coming up in run defense. And starting out on defense tonight, Coach Dane Johnson's hoping that the defensive unit can set the tone for the game tonight. Throughout the year, the defense has really stepped up in big situations. So we'll see if they can come out and start this game off well today.
John Clark Stadium, a pretty good-sized stadium that seats about 10,000 or so, and Flower Mound brought their entire band tonight. Probably not as many fans as they've traveled some other games like Keller. It made people have trouble getting off work and getting over here, beating traffic across town. Keller's a lot closer than Plano for most of the folks coming from Flower Mound. So they're still getting into their seats over there a little bit, probably running a little bit late as we are waiting here for the referees to let this one get underway. The head referee, Miles McCord, the umpire, Eric Ames, the line judge, Tom Troutman, the head linesman, Stephen Ray, and the back judge is Sheldon Davis. As a player our person is getting noticed and attending to somebody there, I think, on the sideline. And now head referee Miles McCord tells everybody to take the field again. Back to receive this kickoff for the Plano Wildcats will be Dijon Howard and Aaron Regas. Also back there for the Wildcats is going to be Lapata Yuo, I believe, if I'm reading that name correctly. And kicking off for Flower Mound will be Josh Grant, their long kicking specialist. As we are just about ready to get this one underway.
Yeah, we've come on the field twice getting ready to kick off and then come back off the field. Now awaiting the referee's signals as they have a conversation here, and it looks like he's running the ball up to the tee, and we will be underway with the Flower Mound Jaguars and the Plano Wildcats here in just a matter of seconds.
And back there with Regas and as well as Dijon Howard was Lopaka Yoro. Hope I got the pronunciation of his name correctly pronounced. And after some 8-minute or so delay, we are finally getting this underway as Grant's kickoff is pooched to the right. Looked like a winding fair catch signal being made for and caught at the 26-yard line, and that one being caught by Byron Tate. And that is where Plano will start off 1st and 10, as we mentioned the starting lineups to you just a moment ago. And at the 26-yard line in Wildcat territory is where they start off. And we are underway in this one. Plano with a wing on the right, one back set behind the quarterback, and he gives to the first back through, Brandon Stevens. And Stevens has a little bit of yardage, about a yard there, as he was stopped to the Flower Mound D, bearing down early on in that first play from scrimmage. Gain of about a half a yard to a yard. It'll be 2nd and long coming.
And the Flower Mound defense, like Coach Johnson said in our early interview, the linebackers have been solid tacklers throughout the year. Struggled a little last week, but they looked good there on that first run up the middle there by the Wildcats.
They had I-back formation there, and split out of it is Bobby Gray, split to the left. Now the pass comes near side, caught at the 30. Making the grab over there was the wingback Brandon Stevens for about a 5-yard gain, and he is tackled immediately. Robert Darnell in on that stop. Brandon Basque over there too. So it's about a 4.5, 5-yard gain to the 32. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming here for the Wildcats. The Wildcats with a 2-2 record. They lost to John Tyler out of Tyler in week 1, 30-12. 3rd and 4, long snap count, wing right side. They give it on the delay to Bobby Gray. Up the middle to the 37, 40-yard line goes Brandon Stevens for a gain of about 8. And that'll be enough for a first down for the Wildcats.
And they caught the Jaguar defense there, looking for a pass situation as Waterbury dropped back like he was going to pass, and then handed that draw there up the middle to Stevens and ended up gaining about 10 yards there on a nice 3rd down conversion for the Wildcats.
John Stone, the offensive coordinator for Plano Senior High. 2 backs in the pistol almost behind Brandon Stevens, who takes the direct snap, sprinting out left across the 40 to the 42 to the far side of the field, and he is chased out of bounds over there on the far side of the field by Devin Coleman and Chase Lemke, who are into the game now. Blake Winters and Chandler Clatterbaugh are in as safeties, but now you've got some new faces in the lineup here tonight, including Colin Alford, the senior defensive tackle, who played some last week in relief, and he's in early now, as well as Duke Carrillo. So Flower Mound rotating out the linemen up top early on in a 4-3 look tonight. Actually, almost a 4-4. So they've got 8 in the box, 2nd and 7. And it's not Waterbury, but Brandon Stevens taking the direct snap with a big hole to the 45-50. Down the numbers alley to the 40, 35-30, and tackled from behind by Blake Winters all the way to the 27-yard line. That one a pickup of 30 yards for Brandon Stevens.
And that was a nice read option there by Brandon Stevens. That's a play you see a lot in the college ranks. And even in the NFL now with Colin Kaepernick and Russell Wilson with a little read option. And that was a little bit of a wildcat formation, too, as they put their tailback at quarterback. But the Flower Mound defense pushed towards the running back. Stevens saw that hole open and broke away for a long gain and puts the Wildcats in scoring position.
Garrett Frederick comes in with the play. Matt Kirchner splits out wide. And the ball is given to the first back through across the 30 to the 28-yard line. Not much yardage there as Duke Carrillo and Aaron Natchis are there to keep him in check after a very small gain. They're only going to give him a yard on the rush.
And we'll see if Flower Mound can hold the Wildcats to short gains like that, because what really got them last week against McKinney Boyd was giving up the big runs like they gave up a moment ago to Brandon Stevens.
Waterbury in the pocket, pump fakes, now goes down the sideline, and it is picked off at the 10-yard line. And stepping up to make the pick over there was Devin Coleman, the cornerback. His first interception of the season. So what looked like a good fake by Quentin Waterbury, a really good solid pump fake. He didn't let his wide receiver get down there. Devin Coleman sat on the route.
Yeah, that was a great play by Devin Coleman. He did not go for the pump fake at all. He stayed back in his zone, followed it all the way back, and he had a beat on that ball the entire way. That is great coverage out there on the outside by Devin Coleman right there along the sideline to get a pick and to give this Jaguar team some momentum, get their offense on the field with Logan Davis as they're ready to come out for the first time with 8:48 left in the first quarter.
Freddie Jackson split wide to the left, and not sure if we have Austin Dillard in there in the slot on the right. But it's not the same guys that we've been accustomed to seeing. Logan Davis in the shotgun, throws out wide, intended for Freddie Jackson. And coming up to defend over there was indeed if I can say his name correctly. Oh, no, that was Dejon Howard, I beg your pardon. Dejon Howard coming up and kind of getting a hit on Freddie Jackson there in the deep out near the sideline. That one goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Flower Mound with a 4-receiver set. And I believe Aaron Epping is in right now. Chris Boban is the lone setback. And he is in front of Logan Davis as Davis sprints out, throws against the grain. Caught! Beautiful catch made at the 22-yard line by Thomas Jeffries. Up around the 22, and he's got enough for the first down. Davis' second pass goes complete. Good to move the sticks.
And that was the type of rollout play that the Jaguars have liked all year. They like to get Logan Davis out on the outside, and that was a nice comeback route to the outside there by Jeffries. And a great pass just sailed just over the fingers of the defender, and Jeffries, even with the defender kind of cutting in front of him, able to see that ball all the way into his hands and keep his feet in bounds. Great play by Davis and Jeffries.
Davis in the shotgun, sprints out right, looking to maybe throw. No, he's going to tuck it under and keep to the far sideline, makes a move and cuts to his right again across the 28 to the up near the 30, but it depends where they are going to give him progress out of bounds, all the way to the 29-yard line. I thought he got pretty close to the 30. A gain of about 7 on that play. It'll be 2nd and 3.
And that's something I think the Jaguars really need to get rolling tonight is Logan Davis running the football. He didn't have a lot of running gains last week as the team finished with just 5 net yards rushing. If they can get him running the ball as they did in the first 3 weeks of the season, I think their offense can find success tonight.
Dejon Howard, a cornerback on the left side, figures to get tested, but a rare running play by Flower Mound given to Chris Boban through the left side of the line, and Boban gets very little yardage there. And making the tackle was Colin Pusateri for the Plano Wildcats, the linebacker. Clayton Johnson now comes out. Quentin Morris in at the slot position on the right. Now he's going to switch positions, come to the wide side of the field on the left side, trips that side, one on the right. One receiver to the right. Logan Davis throws over the middle. It is caught by Quentin Morris at the 32-yard line, and he should have enough for the first down. He was pushed backwards immediately there by one of the defensive backs, or actually Connor Welch kind of dropped back from his tackle spot on that play and pushed him down. And they're going to mark him short. Wow, this is one of those things, Taylor, if you had replay, you'd be like challenging a spot maybe.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty close. We don't know if they're going to measure yet. It does look like they may bring out the chains and measure this because we saw from up here, it looked like I thought they were going to be at the line to gain to get the first down, but as of right this second, it does look like they're marking him short, but the chain crew is trotted out, so we'll see if the Jaguars have picked up another first down.
Yeah, either way, it will be awfully close. And according to this spot, through binoculars, it looks like he is just short by about 3 inches. Question here is, would you go on, having the week like you had last week? Are you looking for some mojo, some momentum to keep going here, or are you try to draw them off, and then if you don't, just take 5 and punt it?
And this is a situation that I find interesting with all the spread offenses that are all throughout every league we see now. On 4th and inches, do you still go out of the shotgun, or do you just snap it to the quarterback under center and go? But because so many teams only ever practice out of the shotgun, they won't go under center. And I've always found that interesting. When you have an inch to go, why not just go under center and get the push? But we'll see what the Jaguars and Coach Dane Johnson do here, if they just try to draw them off or if they run a play.
I agree with you on that, although maybe part of the philosophy is, too, that they think they know what's coming if we get under center.
This is true.
So Davis is in the shotgun, and Flower Mound is going to take a timeout. They're not even going to let the play clock run down. We'll take a timeout with them, too, and come back in a moment. 4th and 1. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth.
Yeah,
you need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Well, go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Back at John Clark Stadium, where Flower Mound going for it on 4th and short, lobbing it over the top. It is caught by Chase Lemke. Does he hang on? He does at the 50. They've got the first down. What a gutsy play call by Coach Dane Johnson and the offensive staff.
That is a bold play call right there. I love that. Little play action float over the top. Under a lot of pressure, gets it just over the top of the defender and gets it over to Lemke. That is the type of play call that you make to come out and try to get some momentum and try to win this game. That's fantastic by Coach Dane Johnson and their offensive staff out there as they're able to get the ball here to midfield. And if they could have got it to him in stride, he may have scored on that play. He was wide open. That was excellent by the Jaguars.
Yeah, Scott Campbell, the OC, dialing that one up. And Logan Davis tucking it under on 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe. Basically a quarterback keeper. Not much, maybe a little bit of a draw to it. He gets about 3 yards into the middle of the pile, stopped by Sam Tecklenburg. And also making the stop, Brandon Wall over there on the left side of the defensive line. A gain of about 3 for Flower Mound. So they hang on to the possession. Scoreboard shows 2nd and 6, but the scrimmage marker doesn't lie. He only really got 3 on that one. Logan Davis in the shotgun, 4 receivers to the right. Backwards pass. Now is this going to be tossed again by Clayton Johnson? It is. A man wide open. Caught. Oh, incomplete at the 15. He had it. What another play call by Scott Campbell. And the wideout just not able to quite hang on over there.
That is a tough break there for another great play call. Another great play call by the Jaguars, going for the double pass. First time we've seen that this season. Receiver running wide open down the sideline and just in and out of his hands. That's tough for Flower Mound.
He'll be thinking about that one a while. A quick toss, right side, caught up around the 48, fighting his way across the 45 to the 43-yard line with the ball for the Flower Mound Jaguars is Colton Wilson, the wide receiver, who didn't have many catches last week. I think he might have had one catch last week. But he makes one here tonight right there on that one, on that play, and it brings up 4th and short again, 4th and 2, and the Jaguars, I guess they think they are kind of in no man's land. They're going to go for it again.
And I like this offensive strategy so far, really being aggressive and trying to get the ball down the field. This has been great so far by the Jaguars.
Davis hurried in the shotgun, has room, sprints out right to the 45-40, down the sideline, 35-30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Logan Davis, no flags.
What a play there by Logan Davis, scrambling under pressure from the blitz, getting to the outside, and then getting downfield. And what made that such a great play as he came downfield was the fact that the receivers, when they saw him running, started blocking those DBs downfield to open up the rest of it for him, and it clears the way for the rest of his long touchdown run. What a play by Logan Davis.
42 yards on the touchdown scamper for Logan Davis, and he will hold this extra point attempt by Richard Kelly, which is high, long, and good. And Flower Mound strikes first, up 7-0. 5:01 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break and come back with more Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
Looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com.
Richard Kelly, Josh Grant, to kick off, and this one takes a bounce at the 23, goes out of bounds at the 20, and Flower Mound will have a penalty assessed, and Plano will get some extra yardage out of that and get to set up ostensibly at the 35-yard line after that kick bounces out of bounds. But what a great start for Flower Mound in so many areas. The defensive stand, the pick made by Devin Coleman, and then the 90-yard drive, which was aided by a fake a great play on fourth down. Almost, they suckered them in, thinking it was going to be a run or a short pass, and they go over the top for a long gainer.
Well, and their two biggest plays both came on fourth down. The 4th and inches that you were just describing, then the fourth down that ended up leading to Logan Davis's run, when he ended up running for a 42-yard touchdown. And that was a really balanced drive. Like you said, they drove 90 yards down the field, got it done in 10 plays with 5 passes and 5 runs. That was just a balanced attack by the Jaguars, but also an aggressive one. A lot of aggressive play calling, going for it twice on fourth down, calling some bold plays, and getting the hands, like Coach Johnson said in the pregame, in the hands of his playmakers, his wide receivers, more and more often. And then, of course, the one consistency we've seen with the Jaguars throughout this season is Logan Davis, and he capped that off with a long run.
And Josh Grant to boot it again. They've made him back up 5 and boot it, and it is fielded at the 28, coming across the 30 to the 33-yard line. On the kickoff return is Ja'Cory Sanders, the 5'10", 180-pound sophomore. So we've seen a lot of sophomores this year that play a fairly integral part in their team's outcomes. And this is no different here as Corey Sanders with that kickoff return of about 6 or 8 yards from the 28 to the 34. That is where Plano will start. 1st and 10 on their second possession. Wing right side, I formation, movement in the line. And flags fly, and they blow it dead. I don't know if contact was made or if Flower Mound was drawn off. I think contact must have been made as head referee Miles McCord signals offsides on Flower Mound. The head linesman Stephen Ray came in and made that call and determined that it was Flower Mound had jumped and made contact. And was also looking at some of the guys out there on special teams. I wanted to mention them a second ago. Samuel Williams and Grayson Hoagland out there on the kickoff coverage for Flower Mound. It is 1st and 5, and taking the direct snap is Brandon Stevens. He's got running room out to the right side, 45-50, all the way inside Jaguar territory. Chandler Clatterbaugh makes the stop after a nice pickup of 16 yards for Brandon Stevens.
And that seems to be where Plano's really finding success on offense against this Jaguar defense, is when they're putting Brandon Stevens in a little bit of a wildcat formation and putting him back at quarterback, and he is back at quarterback right now, so we'll see if they run a little read option again here on this 1st down play.
4 down lineman and a safety cheating up. 5-2 formation shown by the Jaguars. They fake the handoff. Brandon Stevens keeps, has the 40, has the 36-yard line, a pickup of about 8 that time for Brandon Stevens again. So it'll be 2nd and short coming. Tackle made over there by the linebacking crew. Tyson Spencer in on that stop, as well as maybe Chase Lemke.
And Brandon Stevens is a good threat they can throw in there at running back, because Quinn Waterbury is not too much of a runner, as he has 15 rushes for negative 38 yards on the season. So that Brandon Stevens quarterback combo is nice for the Wildcats.
And here we have a flag, and Miles McCord, the head referee, signals a legal procedure against Plano. So they had someone evidently move in the line there and cost them 5. Coming into the lineup here for Plano right now is Ryan McConnell in as a wideout, and to the left side, Matt Kirchner. He is joined out there on the far side by Sam Urango, and they give this to the second back through, and Robert Darnell just stands him up. Great play by Darnell to stand his ground and push back Lopaka Yoro, the 5'2", 145-pound junior, if I'm reading that right. He's got to be taller than that, doesn't he? Must be a misprint. I'm thinking he must be about 5'7".
He's listed on here at 5'2", 145. That would be if he's 5'2", 145, then he is a tough kid playing here in 6A football.
If he's 5'2", I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, Plano's going to take a timeout with 3:13 to play in the first quarter. We'll take one with them. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio's presentation of Flower Mound Jaguar football.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap and runs across right tackle, across the 40 to the 37-yard line. A pickup of about 2.5 there. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Wildcats And they appear to be poised to be going for it. Colin Alford in there as a tackle now for Flower Mound across the front. Flower Mound again putting 6 men on the line. Clayton Johnson coming up from his cornerback position. A couple of guys, Tecklenburg and Matt Kirshner, go in motion to the left side. And the sweep toss to Brandon Stevens. He's got the first down and more. He makes a cut back to his right to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brandon Stevens. 37 yards on the sweep toss. A lot of nice running on his part.
Yeah, he got that toss over to the left there, and it was crowded, and he was able to find a hole and cut back, and he cut back all the way across and ends up scoring back on the right side of the field. So a play that starts left ends up coming back right, and Stevens just made a couple of guys miss there on the outside and makes a great play to get Plano on the board, and as they get ready for the extra point, to tie this game.
Matt Kirshner to hold the extra point and on to try to boot it through for the Plano Wildcats will be Jordan Christian, I believe. It's Tyler Brogan. Kirshner awaiting the hole ahead, a high snap, and Brogan just does get the kick through. It is good. We now have a new score in the game, 7-all between Plano and Flower Mound. 2:26 to play. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Flower Mound football on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Well, Tyler Christian has this one teed up, set to kick off, or Jordan Christian, and he boots it deep to the right side, and it goes out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A flag flies there, so we'll see if Flower Mound makes them re-kick this or takes it at a spot. And before that extra point, Tyler Brogan, the place kicker for extra points, was 9 out of 11. He's now 10 of 12 on the season. And Jordan Christian, the long kicker, the 5'11", 170-pound senior, will be booting that one again, it looks like.
And that touchdown for Brandon Stevens came after a drive that was just 5 plays. All 5 plays were running plays. 4 to Brandon Stevens and 1 to Lopaka Yoro. And so Plano's really trying to keep the ball on the ground. They've thrown just 2 passes to this point, one of which was picked off. So that Jaguar defense is really going to have to buckle down on the run here in the coming drives, and is going to have to make those drives, if they're going to score, take a little bit longer than a couple minutes off the clock.
And check that. I said they'd be kicking again, but they're not. Flower Mound's just going to take it there at the 30. Logan Davis in the shotgun. Looks right. Goes down the field long, down the sideline, intended for his man on a fly pattern over there. I believe that was Brendan Alves racing down the field. And so far, Taylor, we were talking in the break, these teams match up better than we thought. They both made big, long touchdown runs on 4th down.
And that's an interesting thing, too, is these coaches are making bold play calls, as sometimes you'll see coaches, especially early in the game, be a little bit more conservative, punt the ball even on 4th and short when they're kind of in that no man's land, play the field position game. But Coach Johnson comes out, and he goes for it on 4th down twice, end up with 7 points on the board. So when the Wildcats get the ball, Coach McCullough does the same, goes for it on 4th down, and gets a 37-yard touchdown run.
Trips to the left, and the quick toss comes that way. Caught at the 25, coming in the near side of the 30, across the 30 to the 31, and then met by a host of Plano Wildcats over there on the near side of the line. It was Brendan Alves, and he was ushered out by Cody Farhat, who's a baseball commit to Texas Tech, and TJ Lee, the other safety. And yeah, maybe these bold calls are each coach trying to recapture confidence for his team from a big loss last week and instill belief in the kids, which they're subscribing to pretty well here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, both of these teams coming off those tough losses with Plano against Allen and Flower Mound taking on McKinney Boyd. But so far tonight, like you said, the coaches have shown a lot of faith in their kids, and their kids have really come through.
Trips right side, toss underneath, flag flies, and it is Cody Farhat and Connor Welch making a tackle on Brendan Alves. But we're going to get a delay, legal procedure called against Flower Mound. That'll wipe out that play and be 3rd and 14 rather than 3rd and 9.
And that puts the Jaguars in a much tougher situation to convert. But they have made some big plays today, both on the ground and through the air here on crucial downs. So we'll see what kind of play they dial up here for this 3rd and long.
Carter Severson, who usually backs up Nolan McDaniel, is in the game. I beg your pardon, I read that wrong. I thought I saw 61. I saw 51 Dane Marwood. It looked like 61 from the front. So it'll be that was a live ball foul, not a dead ball. So it'll be 4th and 6, and rather than 4th and long or 3rd and long, doing it over. And it'll be Josh Grant kicking it off here, or punting it rather, from his 20, standing back at his own 20, fields it nicely, gets away a good punt, and gets it away from any return man. It takes a nice Flower Mound bounce out of bounds. Andrew Bullard was racing down to try to down it if it came to that. And no return will be available for the Plano single safety TJ Lee. They will take over at their own 29-yard line in a tie score. 1:01 left in quarter number 1. Plano 7, Flower Mound 7 here at John Clark Stadium tonight. We thank you for joining us tonight on the internet. You can listen on your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, whatever you've got. You can hear us here on ChampionSportsRadio.com. Quentin Waterbury hands off to Brandon Stevens. Running room out to the edge, across the 35-40, down the numbers alley to the 50, 40, 30, down the sideline to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Brandon Stevens. Another big long run, this one for 70 yards.
And Brandon Stevens has some speed, he's got some moves, and he's shown them off on the last 2 plays. Last time we saw the Plano offense on the field, he was scurrying for a 37-yard touchdown. This time they're out on the field. He touches the ball for the first time, and he goes for a run for over 70 yards, so over 100 yards on 2 runs, 2 touchdowns, and puts the Wildcats in the lead 13-7 and awaiting the extra point.
Matt Kirchner to hold another head-high snap over his head. He had to reach up and grab it, and Tyler Brogan boots it through, his second extra point of the night. Our new score is Plano 14, Flower Mound 7, 46 seconds to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Flower Mound football on Champion Sports Radio.
On game day, leave the grilling to the amateurs and score the matchup of the century. Raising Cane's tailgates with jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Cane's tailgates get your appetite in the game with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. They're fresh as a rookie, seasoned like a pro, and an automatic first down at any tailgate party. So when it's time for the big game, pick up some tailgates and jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Now that's what I call a huddle. Raising Cane's, one love.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
Back at John Clark Stadium, where Brandon Stevens' legs have been busy here lately, he has taken another one to the house, this one for 70 yards, as the kickoff from Jordan Christian is fielded at the 8, coming to the 10, 15, 20, trying to spring through a little hole on the far sideline over there with the ball was Clayton Johnson on the return.
And as this Flower Mound offense comes out here, they really have to try to make some plays to make sure they keep some momentum and don't let what happened last week against McKinney Boyd happen again tonight. As last week, they gave up a few big plays to Dedrick Scrivens, and then, like we talked about in the pregame, it just snowballed and snowballed, and they couldn't stop it. So here they have a chance to stop it. They've had 2 big plays by Brandon Stevens in a row, a 37-yard touchdown run, a 70-yard touchdown run. So coming out now is the Jaguar offense with a chance to get some of this momentum back that they had gained with that great possession where they put up 7 points.
Logan Davis in the shotgun, sprinting out left. No, this is Hayden Hauser, I beg your pardon, in there now. Hayden Hauser, who's a little bit smaller than Davis. And we saw last week, Hayden Hauser completed 5 of his 6 passes last week for 33 yards. So he was in there momentarily on that first snap. We'll see if they go with him again. It looks like they're going to. Quentin Morris in there as a slot receiver on the right side. Scurrying off the field quickly on the far side was Grayson Hoagland. It is a 2nd and 20 after the big loss there. Hauser in the shotgun. Looks left. Now going to throw down the sideline long. Incomplete. Intended for Austin McKee into the game. So we've seen wholesale changes here on offense. McKee, usually a linebacker, usually not in the offensive formation for Flower Mound. And now we have the end of the quarter here, as it will be 3rd and 20 when we come back. Our score, Plano 14, Flower Mound 7. Back in a moment with more Flower Mound football on Champion Sports Radio.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
14-7 our score here. 3rd and 20 for Flower Mound at their own 18-yard line. They've got some doing to do. As it's Hayden Hauser in the shotgun with a 5-receiver set. He's going to tuck it under on the draw. He's going to try to cut back into the middle of the line, but the Wildcats were waiting for him. Sam Tecklenburg in on that stop, also along with T.J. Lee. And also aiding on the tackle, Jason Lee. And that forces Flower Mound to punt.
And that is Flower Mound's 2nd consecutive 3rd and out. Hayden Hauser came in for that one, wasn't able to move the sticks forward, took a sack there on the first play, and the next 2 plays struggled with a little scramble and then being tackled in the backfield. So that's a tough possession for the Jaguar offense.
And Josh Grant gets this punt off, and it's going to take a straight up bounce and caught and down by Andrew Bullard at about the 48-yard line. A net punt of 30 yards, no return. Good punt by Grant, as he's had some pressure put on him there lately in the punting game, and had one blocked a week or 2 ago, but he has had to sometimes step to his right to get the kicks away.
Yeah, Plano's been sending Brandon Wall coming off the end there on those punts, and he's gotten close on both of them so far, but Grant standing in there strong and getting good punts both times. I-back formation with a fullback and a tailback, and they give to the fullback. The first back through, I believe it was Bobby Gray, and not much doing for him as he goes into the line for virtually no gain. Brandon Stevens, the tailback, in there with him. You don't see much normal I formation run these days, Taylor, but Plano did it there. They did, and they were in a regular I formation earlier, and then they suddenly split out to 5 wide all at once. So that was an interesting shift there. But that time they stayed in the traditional I formation, ran it right up the middle for no gain.
Wing on the left side that now goes in motion. Tecklenburg, who's kind of a tight end / wing. And Waterbury hands it off to Brandon Stevens, spins out of a tackle at the 45, across the 42 to the 40 goes Brandon Stevens. Tackle being applied by Blake Winters, coming up from his safety spot to make the tackle after a gain of about 5.5. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming.
And Blake Winters made a great tackle there. When you have a guy as shifty there as Brandon Stevens, you really got to get him down low, secure the tackle, and even if it's not a big, strong, hard hit, just securing the tackle there as he grabbed his legs and brought him down. And that came right after a pretty smooth spin move there by Stevens, who's got a lot of shifty moves as we've seen throughout the night. So Winters being able to secure that tackle was key for the Jaguars.
And looking at flag flies as Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap, being pressured by Chase Lemke. Lemke was getting held, and the pass was caught, but this one's going to come back, I believe. And I was about to say, looking at Lapacayoro in that huddle, maybe he is all of 5'2", because he looks like he stands a foot shorter than most of the guys in the huddle. Coach Jadon McCullough out on the numerals there, asking for an explanation and giving direction to his team. As coming on for Plano right now to sub out is Sam Arango and Ryan McConnell, both coming into the game, and also Quinn Waterbury coming back into this one.
And this right here, we're at 3rd and 10. This is a big play for this Flower Mound defense. Can they get a stop? Can they get this Plano offense off the field and get the Jaguar offense back on the field? This is big for the Jaguar defense right here.
Matthew Johnston into the game as a lineman, and Waterbury under pressure, screens it out, caught at the 48 by Stevens to the 45, 40, down the sideline to the 30, 20, 10, 5, knocked out at the 2-yard line by Grayson Hoagland and Clayton Johnson. And that was a very well-designed play by the Plano offense and offensive coordinator John Cook.
Yeah, that was a well-designed play, a little bit of a screen pass there to the left side. The Jaguars have been bringing pressure quite a bit throughout the night, so they brought pressure there, set up perfectly for that screen to Brandon Stevens as he cut, and he showed some of his speed there, cutting through some of those blocks up the left sideline. Luckily, Clayton Johnson was back there, had the angle, and was able to stop him before he got in the end zone.
Now, I should say offensive coordinator Joey Stone. I misspoke, not John Cook, Joey Stone. Sweep toss, Brandon Stevens to the 5-2-1, and he is in for the Plano touchdown. It is now 20-7, Wildcats on top with an extra point pending. 9:05 to play before halftime.
And that's another quick strike by the Wildcats. It took a few more plays this time. It wasn't just one play, but it was still took very, very little time off the clock. And it was, again, a Brandon Stevens centered drive that got them into the end zone.
Now, on 3rd and 10, they got the big play as Tyler Brogan boots this one through. He's 3 of 3 on the night and now 12 of 14 on the year. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Flower Mound Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Well, it is 20-7 here at John Clark Stadium. Barry Probst and Taylor Wilson with you tonight. Glad to be bringing you Flower Mound Jaguar football. But the Jaguars, while they did draw first blood in that first quarter, looked great on those play calls early on to take a 7-0 lead. They've kind of been shell-shocked here lately with the running of Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, Brandon Stevens has certainly been explosive, and this Plano offensive line has been clearing some nice holes for him. And on the offensive side, the Jaguars have been stagnant the last few possessions. The first one with Logan Davis, they went 3 and out with 3 passes. The next one with Hoagland, they went out pretty quick.
Squib kick fielded by Nick Ryan in the middle of the field, running to his left. and comes vertically now to the 10, 15, 19-yard line goes Nick Ryan. Maybe to the 21 if they give him progress there. It looks like perhaps the line judge was wanting to mark him there, Tom Troutman.
It'll be interesting here to see if Logan Davis comes back out at quarterback or if it is Hayden Hauser once again. It looks like we may be kicking again.
Offsides on the kicking team, and Flower Mound will want to enhance their field position from the 19-yard line to something a little bit better than this. Although that was an interesting kick, Taylor, that Flower Mound kind of fielded that one in the middle of the field, but still kind of branched out left and then turned it up. But the wall was kind of set up there for Nick Ryan a little bit better. But, usually they're catching it to one side or the other and running so far horizontally before they turn it up.
Yeah, and that's something we've seen every game. And, again, it must be something the coaches see on film or see in practice they think they can take advantage of. And like you said, that time it did look like the wall was set up better on that side for the return. So we'll see what they do here with the re-kick as they try to get a little bit better field position than they had there with the 19-yard line.
Some of the special teams players out on the field include Levi Shome, one of the up men at about the 35, and back to receive it is Nick Ryan again. And maybe Devin Coleman, but it's going Ryan's way at the 10. He will take it straight up to the 15, 20, sidesteps the tackler to the 25, breaks one more tackle across the 25, and the pile finally grinds him to a halt at about the 26-yard line. Good running that time by Nick Ryan. No horizontal running that time. He just took it and went north-south right away.
And you see when he catches it and goes straight north-south, they typically end up with better field position when they do that. I mean, here they're going to end up at about the 26-yard line. And so that is also due to the fact he went straight up field, and there was some nice running in there by Nick Ryan once he got in the crowd. Made a few people miss to gain a few extra yards there, and is going to give Flower Mound's offense decent field position here in the second quarter.
Same front four for Plano on this series. Brandon Wall, Connor Welch, Sam Tecklenburg, Tucker Polacia across the front, and the linebackers Jason Lee, Nina Bibahani, and Colton Pusateri, as they've got a 7-man front, 2 corners, and a couple of safeties there. And this time it is Logan Davis back as the signal caller, who fakes the handoff to Chris Bobin and takes it straight up the middle for a modest gain of about 2 yards. It will be, they're going to spot him down at the 28. It'll be 2nd and 9 after what they call a 1-yard gain.
And it's interesting here we have a lot of the receivers we've seen throughout the year back out at wide receiver. Logan Davis back out at quarterback. After last possession, we saw Hayden Hauser and a few wide receivers who we hadn't seen out there, at least not much, throughout the season. So we'll see how those rotations continue on the offensive side as the game progresses.
Aaron Raygas is a corner on the left side, and Logan Davis going over the top. Got a miss, picked off at the 45, coming back down the far sideline to the 40, 30, 20, 10-5, breaking a tackle for an apparent touchdown is Cody Farhat, but this one may be wiped out. There's a penalty at the 24. Depending the outcome of this penalty, if it's a penalty on the return, if the interception stands up, or if it is something that occurred before that. If it was a hold on Flower Mound, the interception return would stand. And this officiating crew conferring at about the 8-yard line to discuss it. And head referee Miles McCord will give us the indication of what happened here. A personal foul on Plano. And he's ruling first down. So is he ruling it's Plano's ball? Is this a live ball personal foul that's wiping out the return? It looks like that may be the case.
Yeah, it looks like the personal foul came during the return, and so his interception is going to stand, but they are just going to not get the touchdown. And that was Cody Farhat there with the pick and the great return. It's a shame for him anyway that he's not going to get the touchdown, but it is a big break for Flower Mound. that they get their defense on the field instead of giving up 7 or 6 points.
But the Jaguars need to come up with another takeaway and take advantage of this break. Quentin Waterbury in the pocket, pump fakes, going downfield long, got a man, and it is caught for a touchdown. So the touchdown on the interception return was only delayed and postponed by one full play as the pass to Matt Kirchner goes for pay dirt, that one for 39 yards. So some big scoring plays here by Plano in the first half of 70-37 by Brandon Stevens. That one there of 39. And even the screen pass to the 2 that was more or less a scoring play. It set up one. And this kick by Tyler Brogan is good. And now Plano is up on top of Flower Mound 28-7. 7:46 to play. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
Hey, honey, why are you home so late?
Don't even get me started.
Did Sally come in late again today?
Sally comes in late every day. Pete can't stay off the internet, and Roger does everything but his job. It gets so frustrating. My employees can't be accountable for their own actions.
You need to contact Strategic Direct Solutions, LLC. My company has been using SDS for years, and they have totally upgraded several positions for us.
That sounds like a great idea and a great solution.
Make sure your company has the best employees.
That's right, in the best positions, so your organization can achieve success. Strategic Direct Solutions is a staffing solutions firm which has been supporting small to Fortune 500 companies across North America, providing great talent.
Visit us on the web at www.sdsllc.com or call us at 972-355-7500 extension 305.
Well, 28-7 our score. Flower Mound and Plano is up big by 3 scores now as they kick off. It is fielded by Nick Ryan at the 7. Now this time he's running horizontally for room to the 10 to the 12. And that's about all he gets as he's pushed out of bounds. A lot of east-west running, not much in the net. Return gain that time, Taylor. For Nick Ryan and the Jaguars, and they will not have good field position to start this one off. And Coach Dane Johnson's probably wringing his hands a bit over there right now as they're not having good field position. And Plano has answered their initial score with 4 consecutive TDs of their own.
And they've really been thanks to big plays. That was only Waterbury's 3rd completion of the night, but it goes for a 39-yard touchdown. And it was a great pass by Waterbury to give them 28 for the night.
They brought some guys in for more protection as Logan Davis tucks it under and runs to the far sideline across the 15 to about the 16-yard line, a net gain of 2 on that run. Coach Johnson said in his pregame interview, something about stopping the bleeding, and I think he's kind of trying to take on that philosophy here, bringing some more guys in to help block instead of the 5 wides to complement him back there. Grayson Hoagland in there as the hound, probably for depth purposes. I haven't seen Ryan Daly tonight much. He's usually back there, but have not seen him in the lineup tonight. 2nd and 8. In the shotgun is Davis. And he is pressured. Now he sprints out left, looking to throw against the grain, does so, and a flag is down deep in the secondary, up around the 35-yard line. I have to check the meaning of this flag. The pass goes incomplete.
And that flag came flying out in the secondary, so you have to assume it's some sort of maybe a defensive holding or some sort of pass interference call that could give Flower Mound a first down and give them a break here as they try to establish an offensive drive.
It is defensive holding. I don't know why Miles McCord would have signaled that would have been declined. That's the motion he made, but of course this is accepted. It's an automatic first down for Flower Mound as they start the clock again at 7:20. Plano up 28-7. Flower Mound trying to scratch their way back into this one. Davis in the shotgun, tucks it under, evades pressure. Now reverses field to the left side of the 30, 35, and knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 35 up near the 37, maybe even the 38-yard line, depending where they give him progress there. Yeah, all the way to the 38, a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Really good maneuver by Logan Davis to go into the line, feel the pressure hanging around his feet and shoestrings, and then reverse field.
Yeah, it looked like that play was designed to go through the right. Davis ran to the right. The hole where he was supposed to run was full. He backed out, got around the edge to the left, showed some of his speed, and ends up gaining about 8 yards on that play. And again, that's something I said earlier in the game. If they can get this Logan Davis running game going, I really think the offense will find some success.
Nick Ryan and Quentin Morris in his wideouts to the right side. Davis tucks it under, cuts back to his right as he gets to the left side of the line and has the first down across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Nice little pickup of 5 yards for Logan Davis and the Jaguars. We got a new guy in for the Jaguars here. A big guy wearing another number I hadn't seen tonight. Number 87. I'll have to track down his number in a bit.
He does look like he has some height out here, though, at wide receiver, so we can see what Flower Mound does with that is we look like we have a false start on this play.
Yeah, you had guys going and the ball hadn't even been snapped. Sometimes you say the center forgot the snap count. He never gets the blame. It's on everybody else that moves, you know. But it kind of looked like that because so many guys were moving.
Yeah, it looked like almost the entire offense was in motion with the exception of the center on that play, so I think that may have been the case on that first down.
I'm not sure if this is I don't think it's Brendan Owls wearing another number. It may be Luke Greenwood, but anyhow, Logan Davis in the shotgun. Throws over the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for Clayton Johnson on a deep crossing pattern up around the midfield stripe in Wildcat territory. Goes incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 15 after a previous 5-yard walk-off.
That was a really nice play there by T.J. Lee, the safety for Plano, to come over and break up that pass. Perfect form, reaching over with his outside hand to break that up. That was actually a pretty good pass by Logan Davis, but the coverage was very tight.
3 wideouts to the right. Quick hitch toss that way. Caught by Clayton Johnson at the 34. Coming near side to the 35, 40, 44-yard line. Across the 45 to the 48. He's going to be short of the first down by about 5 yards. He got about 9 of it back. And all the way to the 48. They need to get to the 47 in Wildcat territory, but a nice little hitch pass and run that time by Clayton Johnson.
Yeah, that was a nice pass. It's a good way to get the ball outside the numbers with a short little pass. The Jaguars don't run the ball a lot, so a pass like that essentially works as a running play for Flower Mound because it's an easy completion, gets the ball outside, gets the ball in the hands of their playmaker.
Evan Curl getting set on the left side, the big tackle over there. Logan Davis, under pressure, throws long, and it is incomplete up around the 15-yard line. A really nice throw by Logan Davis against the grain. He threw that a ton, kind of like John Elway used to do against the grain, across his body. He's got a lot of strength, upper body strength, to be able to pass it like that.
Yeah, that throw had some distance under it, and he put it in a spot. It was tight coverage, and it was Clayton Johnson there going up for the catch. We've seen him come down with jump balls before throughout this year, so Logan Davis giving him a chance, and he went up, tried to get it. It was a good play by the defense, though, but like you said, quite the throw while rolling out the opposite way by Logan Davis.
5:13 to play before halftime. Plano up on top, 28-7, 4th and 5. Flower Mound going to go for it, but Plano's going to call timeout. We'll take one with them, too. You're listening to Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Football fans, with a Raising Cane's tailgate on the table, this meal is going into overtime. The first overall pick for any game comes piled high with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. So let's hear the stats. That's 100 chicken fingers, 100% premium, and 100% delicious. And with cold, refreshing jugs of lemonade and sweet tea also coming straight out of Raising Cane's, well, let's just say that's a full roster of flavor. Raising Cane's, one love.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
28-7 our score, 4th and 5 to go. Flower Mound going for it here. And Logan Davis in the shotgun, trips to the left, movement in the line. Guys came all the way across the line. I'm surprised Balin Smith didn't snap the ball on that one. And long delay. Play clock down to 9 and counting here. 4th and 5. Everybody set again. And Davis under pressure throws over the... Oh, that might be a penalty. It is. There's a flag. Quentin Morris was totally impeded by T.J. Lee up around the 37. That's going to be a first down by measurement or by automatic stance and rule, as that is defensive holding against Plano, and they'll get the 5 marked up to about where the line to gain was and keep this possession and drive going.
Yeah, that's a penalty right there that would be hard for Coach McCullough to argue. He was getting mugged there over the middle of the field. That was
right.
clearly a penalty, and that's going to keep this Flower Mound drive going. And that was on a 4th down, so that is their third 4th down conversion, and their third time on a 4th down converting to a first down so far tonight. The last time they converted on a 4th down, it ended up leading to a touchdown. See if they can take some of this 4th down conversion momentum and finish this drive.
You could hear the partisan crowd clad in maroon, not liking that at all. Plano in their maroon jerseys and pants, the team. Logan Davis under pressure, and he is going to be pulled down by one hand up around the high shoulder pad by Connor Welch, making that tackle, the defensive tackle there on Davis. It looked like Davis might escape that for a moment, but Welch with some strong upper body and arm strength to pull him down like that. We've talked about Brandon Baskew the last few weeks making tackles like that, and this time Connor Welch did for Plano.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That reminded me a lot of those one-handed tackles that Baskew has made throughout his first few games here on the varsity level. And if Logan Davis could have escaped that, I felt like he had a lot of running room out in front of him.
2nd and 13. Ryan Daly is in as the hound position, and they screen it out to him over the top. Caught at the 40, breaking tackles to the 35, 30, 25 goes Ryan Daly. He's got the first down for the Jaguars all the way to the 25, a gain of 15 when they needed 10. Great little design play there on the over-the-top screen pass. At first I thought Daly was whiffing on the block, but he did that on purpose as I saw it further develop.
Yeah, that's one of the first times we've seen Daly in there at the Houndback tonight, and catches the ball, drags a few guys with him, and makes a big play.
He's now a wing on the right. Davis in the shotgun, going downfield long to the end zone. Is it caught? It is incomplete. In the far corner of the left side of the end zone, intended for Freddie Jackson. Way over there. Jackson not able to quite hold on. Really good pass defense, I should say, over there by Dejon Howard, the cornerback over there on the right side.
And that play was close. That was almost a great throw and catch between Davis and Freddie Jackson right there in the corner of the end zone, just barely out of bounds there. That was almost a big play and a big connection there from quarterback to receiver.
Davis in the shotgun with time, scans the field, throws far side, caught at the 14, trying to break a tackle over there after making the catch is Clayton Johnson on the far side of the field. He is wrapped up by a couple of defenders over there on the far side of the field. I think Deshaun Howard being one of them, and then the other one helping him out, I think it was Aaron Raygas. But not before Johnson gets the first down, moves the sticks again. Flower Mound on the move here, 3:31 and counting, 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 14. Logan Davis in the shotgun. Scans the field. Now going deep down the left side. Just overthrew Daly. Ryan Daly, who had slipped out of his hound position down the sideline. And that one, if Daly, if that's in bounds, Daly's got him an easy touchdown.
And that was a great play call there. They had the outside receiver running the slant, bringing the corner inside. Had the inside receiver, in that case the houndback Daly, running an out and up, a little bit of a wheel pattern. He outran the linebacker. The linebacker came up on the out route, then he turned it up, wide open in the end zone. Unfortunately, the pass sailed just a little bit and landed out of bounds.
Quentin Morris and Austin McKee split to the right in the slot. Davis was going to run. Now flags flying. We've got a legal procedure penalty on Flower Mound before this play can get underway, and the Jaguars kind of undoing themselves with some legal procedure penalties. That's their fourth of the game now, just on a legal procedure.
Yeah, that's tough for Flower Mound. They were inside the 15-yard line. Now they're getting pushed back a little bit. They're at the 19 here on second down, making it a little bit more difficult for them as they try to bring this game back within 2 scores.
Chandler Clatterball coming in now for Ryan Daly at that hound position. Quentin Morris, Austin McKee, and Nick Ryan split to the right side. Logan Davis in the shotgun, 3-step drop, throws far side, incomplete, intended for his receiver there over there on the far side of the field, Freddie Jackson, but that one too high for him to pull down.
Yeah, that's tough. That was another pass that sailed just a little bit on Davis there. Freddie Jackson appeared to have run a pretty good route, got himself a little bit open. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and long.
Clatterball in the slot movement, and Plano made contact, I think. I'm pretty sure Plano made, yes, as the line judge for Plano.
Offside call against the Wildcats.
Tom Troutman comes rushing in to tell us that that was offsides on Plano, and you could barely see from way up here in the press box and making contact with the lineman.
Yeah, and that's the second time Plano's been eager on this drive and jumped. The last time they were able to jump, got between 2 linemen with those big splits and jumped back without hitting anybody. That time, again, a little bit eager, but this time they made contact and it benefits the Jaguars.
Only about 20 seconds have been reeled off the last 3 or 4 actual minutes. Logan Davis tucks it under, tries to break a tackle at the 12-yard line. He cannot escape the grasp of Sam Tecklenburg over there, the big defensive tackle. It looked like he was going to have a lot of running room, a big hole, but then Tecklenburg grabbed him quickly and hung on, and it brings up 4th and 8 to go. The Jaguars can get a first down if they get to the 5-yard line. They've pretty much got to go for it, down 28-7 here with 2:40 to play. Taking their time, though.
Yeah.
Play clock is down to 10 now. So we'll see if they're going to call a timeout here right before the half. They may just let some clock burn and call a timeout right before the half if they got it off in time. So I think they did. 2:22 to play. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Flower Mound Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Well, 4th and 8 to go for the Flower Mound Jaguars, who trail in this one 28-7 here at half, the 2:22 mark. Barry Probst and Taylor Wilson here with you this evening up at John Clark Stadium in Plano, where the Wildcats Flower Mound had a 7-0 lead on them early and then fell back thanks to a lot of big long runs to Brandon Stevens. As Flower Mound poised to go for it here on 4th and 8. Logan Davis in the shotgun. Freddie Jackson split wide to his left. Ball on the left hash. Davis sprinting out right, being pressured, looking for someone, throws it away. 4th and 8, and you got to throw for the end zone, I would think, instead of throwing it away. But the Jaguars turn it over on downs, and Plano will take over with 2:13 to play before halftime and a 3-touchdown lead.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there for Logan Davis. He's under pressure. He's rolling out right, one of these rollouts that the Jaguars like to use so often. He has a player running an out, a player running in a corner. Both look to be mostly covered, but you think, like you said in that situation, you throw it up, give one of them a chance to come down with it. It's 4th down anyway. No need to throw it out of bounds. But that was a very tough situation for Davis with everyone being covered.
As Brandon Stevens takes the handoff, and he is tackled from behind and behind the line by Austin McKee. Great penetration by McKee to get back there and tackle Brandon Stevens from behind for a loss of about 2 or 3. It'll be 2nd and 13. And, you know, the one good thing about this, Taylor, is that the defense did get a muchly needed rest.
Yes, that is huge. The offense for the Jaguars had gone 2 quick 3-and-outs, and that's when we saw 2 quick touchdowns. Here they get a nice, long, sustained drive. Didn't get points, but it did provide our defense with some
blitz
rest.
Coming from McKee, who gets in the face of Quinn Waterbury, and he is going to actually get called for roughing, I believe, as Waterbury had his pass batted down, but I guess McKee followed through and made contact with the head. That is a shame because that was 2 great defensive plays there by McKee in a row, just minus the contact to the head. They are going to call a face mask on him. I guess his hand hit the face mask on the way down. You know, when you're putting your hands up to block a pass, it might be just almost unavoidable to make contact following through accidentally. So that's evidently what happened, and it's a 15-yard personal foul against Flower Mound, an automatic 1st down for Plano at their own 25.
Yeah, that's such a difficult situation because, like you said, he was going out to block the pass. It was an accidental, but only one type of face mask now. That's the 15-yard variety.
Waterbury under pressure, gets away from one tackler, but Robert Darnell has him for a big sack back at around the 22-yard line. A loss of 3, and Waterbury actually lucky to get that, turn the loss into only a loss of 3. He was trapped back there for about a 7-yard loss momentarily and broke a tackle or 2 before finally succumbing to the sack of Darnell. Clock nearing 1:05 now before halftime.
This is big for the Flower Mound defense. I've said that a few times tonight, but this is big because they can't let the Wildcats get on the board again. They got to go in at 28-7.
2nd and 12. Waterbury delayed draw to Brandon Stevens, and they've got him pulled down immediately. And this Jaguar defense looking very rejuvenated after the long rest there. You've got Chase Lemke and Robert Darnell in on every tackle, and Brandon Baskew up front. The front 7 and front 5 really looking good here for the Jaguars on this possession and series here, Taylor.
Yeah, they've really looked good. This is what we have seen earlier in the season, at times flashes throughout the year, but especially in those first 3 games, bottling up the running game, keeping it in the box, not letting them get outside. That is where Flower Mound is the best, is when they can keep it in the box.
Waterbury hands off to the first back through, I think Bobby Gray, and there's nothing doing for Gray that time. He gets maybe 1, and it will be 4th and 10, and Flower Mound has 1 timeout left. Yep. But that is the last play of the half, and Plano will go to their locker room with a big 28-7 lead over Flower Mound, and the Jaguars will try to regroup in the locker room on the visitors' side after having scored early in the first quarter and just not having much go right there for the next 3 or 4 possessions of Plano.
Yeah, that was a great defensive stand there by Flower Mound. Hopefully they can use that as they go into the locker room as maybe a positive, say, hey, this is what we can do. We can stop Brandon Stevens. We can bottle him up. We can keep him inside. We can keep our outside contained. Because a lot of times when Stevens was scoring, it's when he was able to bounce runs outside or get the ball outside the hashes and has a lot of room. If we can keep him inside where our linebackers and defensive linemen are, they're all great form tacklers, as we saw in that possession. They can prevent him from having the kind of second half that he did in the first half with a lot of yards and a few touchdowns.
Well, coming up at the Shockbox DFW halftime show, we'll let you listen to both bands, Flower Mound and Plano, during Plano's homecoming, and get you caught up on scores around the District 6-6A League and elsewhere around North Texas. We'll take a break and come back for the halftime show. You're listening to Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Welcome back to the ShockboxDFW.com halftime show here at John Clark Stadium in Plano, where the Wildcats of Plano Senior High have a 28-7 lead up on top of the Flower Mound Jaguars. And Coach Dane Johnson probably not happy with some aspects of this game as Flower Mound took that early lead, looked good, had some promise, and then things kind of started to unravel after that. Taylor?
Yeah, and a lot of it is what we saw last week against McKinney Boyd, and that is big plays. Whenever we see big plays for the opposing team, things can kind of start to unravel. This time we saw it from Brandon Stevens. Last week it was from Dedrick Scrivens. Brandon Stevens catching screen passes, breaking out big runs on fourth down, and really just tearing up this Jaguar defense with just some long plays. And the other problem with that is it gives when the offense comes back after a quick touchdown like that and then goes 3 and out, suddenly the defense is back on the field, not well rested, and then sometimes they are more prone to giving up another big play, which is what we saw on a few drives here in the first half.
Well, we've got some scores to pass along to you from elsewhere around North Texas and District 6-6A. Among them, one I think may be taking place out in Abilene at Shotwell Stadium. South Lake Carroll leads Abilene 42-21 at half. 21 spot in the first quarter and a 21 spot again in the second quarter. And they have a commanding 42-21 lead over Abilene at halftime. Saxe is ahead of Garland 14-10 in the second quarter. My alma mater dumped Saxe last week in a basketball-like score, 62-49. Robert E. Lee out of Tyler put a knot on the head of Saxe last week, and now Saxe, who has a prolific offense, being held to only 14 right now, leading Garland 14-10. The Owls trying to lock down with defense in that one. Arlington Martin ahead of Arlington Lamar 38-13 in the second quarter. Now, here is a shocker for you, Taylor. Buckle your seatbelt. Marcus is on top of Allen, 17-14 in the second quarter.
That is a shocker without a doubt. I mean that's decently late into the game. 17-14, that's impressive there by the Marauders.
And for all the good we saw last week out of McKinney Boyd, maybe Plano West is that second-best team in the district because they have a 42-14 lead on Boyd in the second quarter of play. And I would imagine that that is a lot of Sosa Jamabo running wild in that one, if I had to guess. Grant Restmeyer, the quarterback who looked great last week, having a great half. He's 8 of 13 for 250 yards at half with 2 touchdowns. And Dedrick Scrivens, he's being held to 48 yards, looking a little more mortal this week. Brandon Bowling, another guy who we were really impressed with last week, has 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown in the first half. But again, they are down by a good amount, or McKinney Boyd in this one, 42-14 in the second quarter. And Sosa Jamabo, like we speculated, 20 carries, for 175 yards and 5 touchdowns
in the first
half. He's got some guys don't do that for a 2-game stretch and a half. He has amassed that much, and he's got visits planned to Notre Dame and UCLA and some other places. He's wanted by a lot, and he probably is going to deliver to somebody. Duncanville trails Mansfield 10-7 in the second quarter of play. Mansfield Timberview ahead of Lancaster. That's quite a surprise, actually. Lancaster's a pretty good team, and Timberview with a 20-16 lead. Oh, they've now just added another. It's 27-16 in the second quarter late. And that one is Devin Williams for Timberview passing all over the place. 9 of 16 for 151 yards and 3 TDs. Not throwing a lot, but throwing quite proficiently and having them turn into big gains. Mansfield Summit leads Mansfield Legacy 28-0 in the second. Prestonwood Christian ahead of TCA Addison 35-13. Kennedale on top of Carter 35-13 in the second. I bet Dallas Carter fans 20 years ago never thought they'd be trailing Kennedale someday, and let alone playing them. And there they are, down 35-13 in the second quarter. And those are some of the. Well, we got a few others here to give to you if we can get the rest of the scoreboard to pop up. But those are some of the games from around the league. We'll take a break and come back in a moment and get you some more of those and let you listen to the Flower Mound Band. You were listening to Flower Mound Jaguar football at the Shockbox DFW halftime show on Champion Sports Radio.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
On game day, leave the grilling to the amateurs and score the matchup of the century. Raising Cane's tailgates with jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Cane's tailgates get your appetite in the game with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. They're fresh as a rookie, seasoned like a pro, and an automatic first down at any tailgate party. So when it's time for the big game, pick up some tailgates and jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Now that's what I call a huddle. Raising Cane's, one love.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
Hey, honey, why are you home so late?
Don't even get me started.
Did Sally come in late again today?
Sally comes in late every day. Pete can't stay off the internet, and Roger does everything but his job. It gets so frustrating. My employees can't be accountable for their own actions.
You need to contact Strategic Direct Solutions, LLC. My company has been using SDS for years, and they have totally upgraded several positions for us.
Great idea and a great solution.
Make sure your company has the best employees.
That's right, in the best positions, so your organization can achieve success. Strategic Direct Solutions is a staffing solutions firm which has been supporting small to Fortune 500 companies across North America, providing great talent.
Visit us on the web at www.sdsllc.com or call us at 972-355-7500 extension 305.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Right now, it is the Flower Mound Band in the limelight here at halftime, performing for the mostly partisan Plano crowd. A little bit of a Flower Mound crowd over here tonight. But the guy who was living in the limelight, Taylor, in the first half was Brandon Stevens for the Plano Wildcats.
Yeah, Brandon Stevens had quite an impressive first half there for Plano, and Plano, he helped lead the way. They have 186 rushing yards here in the first half, which is compared to 55 for Flower Mound. Brandon Stevens has almost all of those rushing yards. He has 13 attempts, 179 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The other touchdown for Plano coming via the arm of Quinn Waterbury on the deep strike to Matt Kitchener. And Brandon Stevens also is leading Plano in receiving with 2 catches for 49 yards. On the Flower Mound side, Logan Davis actually having a pretty productive day throwing and running. He's 10 for 19 for 83 yards and a pick throwing the ball, and has 9 attempts for 68 yards and a touchdown. The majority of those rushing yards coming on that long 42-yard run in the first quarter that put Flower Mound up 7-0. In terms of receivers, we've seen this throughout the year. Flower Mound loves to spread the ball out to a variety of wide receivers, and in the first half alone, 9 different Jaguars have caught a pass. So that's really what Coach Dane Johnson wants to get in the hands of what he said was his deepest position group, which is wide receiver.
Yeah, that part of the mission is being fulfilled and pretty well, and not in vain. It's not like a little 2- and 3-yard dink and dunk. He's really getting it down the field, and they were moving the sticks really well in the first half, and then on that last drive of the second quarter, just kind of bogged down there, and they weren't able to convert and get a score out of it, which is really a shame because they'd done pretty well. And then you saw their defense emotionally and physically get a lift from that good drive there that gave them some extra pep in their step.
And if they could have scored on that drive, that would have been huge, because that makes it 28-14. I mean, only a 2-score game. You can come back from 2 scores down pretty quick with a turnover or another big play. So that would have been huge. But like you said, the one positive that did come out of that, it gave the defense a rest. And when the defense came back out on the field, they did seem rejuvenated and really bottled up Brandon Stevens on 3 straight plays, which they had not done to this point tonight.
Well, looking at some other scores from around the area here in the third quarter, Carrollton Ranchview leads Aubrey 15-0. Sanger ahead of Whitesboro, that one in the third now, 28-7. Salina ahead of Melissa in a Collin County battle, 20-0. Lincoln ahead of Lake Worth, 20-7. That's in the second quarter. Kaufman on top of Palestine, 14-7. Pilot Point big over Bonham in the second, 35-7. Rockwall leads Garland Lakeview, 34-21 in the second. North Mesquite with a slim 9-7 lead over the Highland Park Scots in the second quarter. Richardson Bertner trailing Lake Highlands 16-7. Mesquite Horn on top of Mesquite 21-7. That's a second quarter score. Richardson Pierce trails Richardson High 28-23 in the second. Skyline blanking Irving 21-0 in the second. Jesuit big on Sunset. You've talked about that before. 44-0 for the Jesuit Rangers right now in the second quarter. Euless Trinity being kept in check by Colleyville Heritage tonight. The Trojans only on top 6-0 in the second quarter. Capel out in front of LD Bell big 21-3 in the second quarter. Richland big over Haltom right now 37-3 in the second quarter. Louisville shutting out Hebron 10-0. The Hebron Hawks have yet to get a win this year. They would drop to 0-5, Taylor, a 6-6A battle if they don't come back and beat the Farmers.
Yeah, and that would be tough for Hebron to start off this season 0-5. It would be a big win there for Louisville. Louisville currently 1-3 on the season, so they could really use a win as well, but that should be a tight game as it comes down to the second half.
DeSoto all over Grand Prairie, 33-0 behind Jalen Thompson's performance there. I'm speculating. I'm almost positive of it. Yeah, Jalen Nelson, 14 of 18 for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns. And could you imagine losing a player the caliber of Tristan Wallace, and then you've got this little youngster step right in there, and there's no drop-off at all.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's a great program they're running down there in DeSoto, and it just shows they don't rebuild, they reload, as it is often said, and that's the perfect example right there at the quarterback position for DeSoto.
South Grand Prairie beating Midlothian 21-6 in the second. Lake Dallas ahead of Grapevine 21-7 in the second. Some DISD score. Actually, Brian Adams trailing Newman Smith 7-0 in the second. Mansfield Lake Ridge out in front of Waxahachie in the second quarter now, 41-34.
Oh, man.
Second quarter, they got the three-point line there, scooted in closer, I guess, tonight. Forney ahead of Royce City, 28-17 at half. And Ennis big over Jacksonville, 36-10 in the second. That's an odd pairing tonight. Ennis and Jacksonville is maybe one more non-district tune-up for their district, playing Jacksonville this time of year.
I'll be honest, Barry, I have never heard of Jacksonville, Texas before.
East Texas town south of Tyler, about 25 miles. The Tomato Bowl. They play in the Tomato Bowl. It's a public works administration project built in maybe the 20s.
Very
30s.
cool.
It looks like a Roman Coliseum. I used to drive by it a few years ago when I had a job that doesn't even exist. But that's another story for another time. And our score here at half is 28-7. Plano on top of Flower Mound. We will now let you tune in and listen to the homecoming presentation of Plano Senior High and their band.
Homecoming King and Queen nominees, Mr. Hudson Turkeyall, Miss Lauren Burns, Mr. Tabarak Mir, Mr. Julia Dragowicz, Joseph McKinney, Mr. Corey Picklesheimer, Miss Bailey Patterson, Mr. Austin Ramby, and Miss Keely Roper. And now, your homecoming king for 2014 is Tabarak Mir. Miss Lauren Burns. Congratulations once again to our entire 2014 homecoming court. Ladies and gentlemen, Plano Senior High proudly presents the national champion, Plano-X. The Plano-X, under the direction of Ms. Meredith Warwick, Assistant Director Courtney Davis, and intern Ms. Devin Dusick. Plano-X are proud to announce this year's Miss Drill Team, Lauren Chadwick, Miss High Kick, Claire Butner, and Miss Jump Split, Kat Kubik. The 2014-2015 sergeants are Senior Sergeant Megan Berner and Junior Sergeants Emma Irwin and Alyssa Parfait. The Plano Reds are led onto the field by this year's 2014-2015 award-winning officers. Junior Lieutenants Ariel Fuchs, Amy Davis, and Maddie Lindholm. Sergeant Lieutenants Sarah Sliga, Allison Cannon, Emma Walls, and Taylor Motley. First Lieutenant Elizabeth Darby, and our award-winning captain, Miss Savannah Hicks. The Plano Reds will now perform their traditional homecoming routine to Speak Up Mambo.
Welcome back to the ShockboxDFW.com halftime show as we let you listen to the Plano Band entertain the crowd here tonight at homecoming for Plano, where the Wildcats have amassed a 28-7 halftime lead. Barry Probst and Taylor Wilson with you here at halftime, and we want to thank some of the sponsors here tonight, specifically Steve Swanson over at Whirly Ball for sponsoring this broadcast. Corporate events, team building, and private parties are more fun when you're zipping around in a whirlybug, and they have the most affordable laser tag in town. 2 locations to serve you, Plano and in Hearst. Leagues are starting up now, so visit them online at whirlyball.info for more information. You know, Taylor, you didn't know this, but Thomas was telling me, doing the Plano broadcast to our right down the hallway, he got in a league, and they did some championships up in Ohio or somewhere. They flew up there to play in
Whirly Ball.
Yeah, in
That's
Whirly
pretty
Ball. Can you
cool.
believe it? Yeah, it's a fabulous game. You ought to get over there and play. It doesn't matter if you're 5 or 75. Get over there and play. It is a lot of fun. We'd also like to thank In Command Broadcasting, which is a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company providing a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services, including filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event with In Command Broadcasting. Also, thanks to Steve and Barb Hill at Point of Origin Design, your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is the full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point. So visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com and let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next T-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com. Well, Taylor, breaking this one down, what do you suppose head coach Dane Johnson is saying to his bunch or even offensive coordinator Scott Campbell? What are they saying to their team, especially, Coach Campbell over there? It's kind of curious because we saw a wholesale changes of guys when the score was tight, and we didn't really understand why. We didn't know if it was injuries or they sensed effort wasn't what they wanted. We didn't really know. But what do you think they're saying in the locker room right now?
I think they really got to focus on what they did well, which if you look at that one possession early in the first half where they had some creative play calling, they made some big plays, they converted on some fourth downs, and they had an even mix of productive passes and productive runs. After that drive, it seemed like they went more one-dimensional and were unable to move the ball. And I think the other thing they're going to really focus on the offensive side of the ball is at least getting a few first downs. They can't have the 3-and-outs. With the 3-and-outs, it gets their defense back on the field with little rest. And that's actually where we saw those big plays by Brandon Stevens were after quick 3-and-outs by that Flower Mound offense. So I think that going into the locker room, Coach Campbell, Coach Johnson really saw some positives in that first half. I think many more positives than we saw last week in the McKinney-Boyd first half. The Jaguars moved the ball better. They threw the ball better. They ran the ball better. I just think they need to get it going again with an even balance between the running game of Logan Davis and Chris Boban and then the passing game, getting it to their 9 or 10 wide receivers that like to spread the ball around to.
Yeah, we've seen Boban with 1, maybe 2 carries tonight. But it might be nice for them to not give the wide receivers a play off necessarily, but, draw the defense away from them to get him the ball a time or two just to kind of really spread the whole field out in terms of where the ball's going, who's getting it, and that kind of thing. So the receivers kind of can take a play off, or they can kind of come in and help and let the running back spring free perhaps for an unexpected carry and big game.
And the other thing I think they're certainly talking about in the locker room is that last defensive possession. I think the defensive coordinator, Coach Johnson, are all in there saying, look, we can stop Brandon Stevens. We did it on the last drive. Plano was certainly trying. They had over 2 minutes left and a couple timeouts. They were certainly trying to put more points on the board, but Flower Mound was able to hold them, 3-and-out, get into the locker room without allowing any positive progress after the turnover on downs in their own red zone. And I just think if they focus on the positives from the first half, the moving the ball, and then proof that they can stop Brandon Stevens, I think they're going to come out and have a stronger second half.
Yeah, Jaguars kind of found their sea legs under themselves in that last offensive series, I thought.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we've seen these linebackers make plays throughout this season. We've seen them come in and make big hits, big tackles. I mean, they are strong tacklers. They are strong defenders. We've seen Basque, as we talked about, pulling guys down with one arm. So they definitely have strength. They definitely have ability. And on that last series, we really saw them put everything together on the defensive side of the ball. And I think we're going to see that as we come into the second half.
Well, we will take a break here and come back in a moment for the second half. And if the Plano band is still performing, we'll let you listen to them at that time. We'll be back in just a moment with more Jaguar football on the ShockboxDFW.com halftime show on Champion Sports Radio.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Back at John Clark Stadium here at halftime as the Plano Band and Flag Corps entertains. And we've got the Joker out there on the field, too, at the 30-yard line, picking up, I don't want to call her Bad Girl. I'm not sure who that is, Taylor. And you said you saw Batman a bit ago. Yeah, he's
Batman
out there, too.
Back out there. And Robin.
And Robin looks about 2 feet tall, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, we've got the whole gang out there. And Catwoman. Yeah, that's good. A lot of them. And the Penguin, maybe, I believe. Yeah.
It's a Batman party out here on the field at halftime.
Yeah, it is. You've got several of the villains along with a diminutive Robin out there as the Plano Band continues to entertain here. We thought kickoff would be looming here shortly. We got another score update to give you as Flower Mound Marcus leads Allen in the third quarter, 17-14, and they were knocking on the door again. They were in the red zone a moment ago. Not sure if that is still 17-14, but they're holding Kyler Murray in check. They're down at the Allen 17-yard line with a first down right now. So big potential upset looming there for a neighboring school in Flower Mound, the Marcus Marauders. Plano West in 6A ball leads McKinney Boyd 42-14. So Boyd not having quite the half and outing that they had last week against these Flower Mound Jaguars. Jaguar fans and many of the masses wished Boyd would have saved that kind of performance for last week. They hit on all eights. I mean, you can't take much away from what they did. They were really good and sharp in every area.
They were impressive last week, and again, the game that stands out to me right now is that Marcus Allen game. As Marcus continues to lead, that would be a huge, huge upset there for Marcus over Allen, as Allen has been on quite the winning streak going back to last season and their last couple of state championships, and Kyler Murray leading the way, but he's really been held in check by that Marauder defense.
A lot of Mansfield schools in action. Mansfield High leads Duncanville 10-7. Timberview leads Lancaster 27-16. Summit leads Mansfield Legacy 28-0 in the third. Kennedale ahead of Carter 42-13, and that was before halftime. Sanger has opened up a big 42-7 lead over Whitesboro in the third quarter. Salina blanking Melissa 20-0 in the third. Kaufman ahead of Palestine 14-7 in the third. Lincoln with a 20-7 lead over Lake Worth in the third. Rockwall ahead of Garland Lakeview 34-21 in the third. North Mesquite out in front of Highland Park right before halftime 9-7. Lake Highlands leading Richardson Berkner 16-7 in the third. Mesquite Horn up on top of Mesquite 21-7. Horn leading the Skeeters in the second quarter. Skyline ahead of Irving 21-0. Capel out in front of LD Bell now early in the second half 21-3. Euless Trinity with a slim 6-0 lead over Colleyville Heritage in the first half, and that might have come on a couple of field goals, actually. I don't see any touchdowns for anyone for Euless Trinity. Plano here leads Flower Mound 28-7. Louisville out in front of Hebron 17-7 in the third quarter. DeSoto, that one another 6-6A game, incidentally. And DeSoto ahead of Grand Prairie 33-0 at the half. We will take a quick break and come back here for the second half kickoff in just a moment. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
Football fans, with the Raising Cane's tailgate on the table, this meal is going into overtime. The first overall pick for any game comes piled high with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. So let's hear the stats. That's 100 chicken fingers, 100% premium, and 100% delicious. And with cold, refreshing jugs of lemonade and sweet tea also coming straight out of Raising Cane's, well, let's just say that's a full roster of flavor. Raising Cane's, one love.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that...
Well, we're about ready to kick off now as Tyler Brogan has it teed up ready to go. And this one is kicked down the middle and going to be fielded by Nick Ryan at the 10, coming near side to the 15, trying to spin out of tackles, but he's bottled up there by a host of tacklers, including T.J. Lee and Jason Lee up around the 15-yard line. So Flower Mound will start off with relatively poor field position here to start this drive in the second half.
And that was another example there of what we've talked about a few times with a lot of sideways, horizontal running there on the kickoff return. And the one time we saw them run straight upfield, they ended up starting off at the 25, 26-yard line. Every other time when they've run horizontal, they've started inside their own 15. So we'll see what they can do here on their first offensive possession of the second half.
Movement in the line. Does the player make contact, or did he force the Flower Mound player to move? Nolan McDaniel was pointing him out for the line judge, Tom Troutman. And it'll be a walk-off of 5 against Plano. Plano has had a couple of these penalties tonight.
Yeah, they have. And we saw a few on the last Flower Mound possession, a few instances of jumping offside. Logan Davis must be having a strong snap count down there to get those defensive linemen engaged early.
So it'll be 1st and 5 after the walk-off. And Logan Davis back in the shotgun. Hound on the right side. 2 receivers split to the left. Davis fakes the quarterback draw. Pump fakes going downfield long. Got a man, Clayton Johnston. Was he being played by the man or the man playing the ball? Anyhow, Johnston had to come back for it and kind of bumped into the defender. Really good play call, but the ball just didn't quite sail long enough for Johnson to get it.
Yeah, that was a nice fake. It really brought the defender up. Johnson was able to get around that DB, had about 2.5 yards, 2 yards on him. The ball just a little bit underthrown as Logan Davis was under a little bit of pressure there as he was trying to release it.
It was 86 when we started at kickoff. It's now about 81 degrees here in Plano. Davis under pressure, bounces away. Oh, tries to throw it away and is tackled awkwardly. And he is in some pain as he was getting tackled and threw it away. And that is the kind of play where you kind of get bent in half and just not. That was really painful looking the way he went down as he was being grabbed from behind. If they show a replay of it here on the board, and I think they're going to.
Yeah, he was rolling out to his right, and he was just trying to save the play a little bit by trying to throw it away there as he was getting tackled, and that's what resulted in him kind of getting bent a little bit weird as he was falling to the turf.
We certainly hope he is all right. 11:35 to play. We'll step aside and take a quick break. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShotboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShotboxDFW.com today. ShotboxDFW.com.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Well, back here at John Clark Stadium, and Logan Davis at least walking off in his own power, but he's kind of holding at his back there, so we hope he is going to be okay. In the meantime, Hayden Hauser comes in to spell him here with Flower Mound down 28-7 on this 3rd and 5 after that pass went incomplete. Flower Mound would like to thank the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra and the new GDYO Jazz Institute. Enjoy a cultural experience with your family without breaking the bank. Visit gdyo.org for more information as we resume play here with 3 wideouts to the left. Ball on the right hash. Hayden Hauser in the shotgun. 3-step drop. Throws over the right side. That one intended for Matthew Schroer. And it is defended over there pretty nicely by the cornerback for Plano, senior high, Aaron Regas. Schroer not getting his number dialed a whole lot, but he's in the game there. And Flower Mound will punt now, facing 4th and 5, and on to punt it away for the Jaguars will be Josh Grant.
And Hayden Hauser coming in. We did see him earlier in the game, so he has played tonight. It looks like he may get a lot of reps the rest of the way with Logan Davis's lower back possibly being injured. We'll keep you updated on that, but Hayden Hauser, his first pass incomplete.
Kind of a rush to Grant, but he gets away a nice punt over the head of the return man at the 40. It takes a nice Flower Mound bounce and roll to the 35-30. Keeps rolling all the way inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 14. So a great punt by Josh Grant. That one goes for 66 yards.
That's how you flip the field right there. That was impressive. And the thing was, he was under a lot of pressure to get that punt off. It was a little bit of a line drive, but it got just over the returner's head. And like you said, it just rolled and rolled and rolled all the way down to about the 14-yard line. Great punt by Flower Mound.
Well, the Jaguars started off the first series of the game with a Devin Coleman interception at their own 10. Plano has not really thrown it much since then as Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap, but he is met by a couple of Jaguar tacklers in on there, including Tyson Spencer and Robert Darnell, both stepping up to meet Mr. Stevens and push him back just a little bit.
Second down, 8 from the 16-yard line.
It'll be 2nd and 8 after a small gain of 2.
And again, the Flower Mound defense is picking up where they left off in the first half by bottling up that running game here on their first play.
3 down linemen, but 8 in the box for the Jaguars. And Brandon Stevens again takes the direct snap, hurdles tacklers across the 15 to, the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming for the Plano Wildcats, who look like they've got a pretty good sized line across the front with Austin Pugh and Ben White. Both those guys running about 230 to 245, and tackles in the 255-pound range, Isaiah Williams and Kadarius K.D. Smith.
Yeah, it looks like the biggest member of their line might actually be the center, Bo Hott, in there at 6'3", 282. Not often you see the center as the biggest one of the 5.
No, but he's probably the least mobile. That's probably the reason. But Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap, has running room out to the outside, 25, 30, 35, 40, all the way to the 47-yard line goes Brandon Stevens, a run of 26 yards, and a Wildcat first down. So Flower Mound had done pretty well that first couple of plays, but the line able to provide some holes in running room for Stevens on that play, and he turns it into a big gain.
And this has got to be a sight the Jaguars like to see as Brandon Stevens jogs off the field to get a rest on this play.
Yeah.
That's probably something that we can all appreciate.
And the diminutive Lapaka Yoro in there. And he takes the handoff, and he has running room out to the edge across the 45, 40 into Jaguar territory. And that little dynamite package is very, very fast. A gain of 12 on that play.
Yeah, he showed some speed there. And earlier we looked at our roster and we saw that he was 5'2". We weren't sure if it was correct. I think it is correct.
Yeah, you look at him in the huddle with those guys, and you say, yeah, he is 5'2". Away from everybody, he doesn't look that short, but he must run a 4.3 40 the way he
that was explosive right there. That was nice.
And Plano's going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick one with him, too. 9:21 to play. Plano on top of Flower Mound, 28-7. You're listening to Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
On game day, leave the grilling to the amateurs and score the matchup of the century. Raising Cane's tailgates with jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Cane's Tailgates get your appetite in the game with hot, fresh, never-ever-frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. They're fresh as a rookie, seasoned like a pro, and an automatic first down at any tailgate party. So when it's time for the big game, pick up some tailgates and jugs of lemonade and sweet tea. Now that's what I call a huddle. Raising Cane's, one love.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Well, 28-7 our score here at Plano Senior High's John Clark Stadium, and man goes in motion, and Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap, sprinting to the near side of the 35-30 and out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Wrestled out of bounds over there by Devin Coleman and Chandler Clatterball helping out, but not before Brandon Stevens steps off another double-digit gain of 13 yards. They're not just hustling off the field on this play to come out. Darrell Rutherford and Hayden Brewer in. Austin McKee in there in his linebacker spot. He's played a lot tonight. He's platooned as a receiver in the slot and a linebacker. Tyson Spencer, Chase Lemke, and Robert Darnell also in there as linebackers. 7 men in the box movement early, and they're going to get the Plano right guard, Isaiah Williams, for jumping a little bit early on that play. It'll be 1st and 15 after the movement in the line.
And Plano here, as they came out there, they had Brandon Stevens at quarterback again. We'll see if they come back with that, but they've had 3 double-digit runs in a row as Stevens went for 26 yards, then Yoro for 15, and then Stevens again for 13. So they've seen some productive running here on this drive, and they have not thrown a pass on this drive. It has been 5 consecutive runs.
Now, Flower Mound might just need to sell out completely to the run. Stevens takes this one, bounces off a tackler into the right side of the line, and then surges forward across the 26 to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. So they get the penalty yardage back right there. But the Plano wide receiver, well, we have seen Matt Kirchner hauling in a long TD pass, but it might be to the point where you've just got to take that chance and play some single coverage out there and cram the other 9 in the box.
Yeah, I agree. They really have focused on running the ball. They've only thrown 3 or 4 passes the entire evening. And here with the lead, they're also going to try to run the ball and milk the clock as well.
Movement in the line, no flag. And this time, it is little Lapakayoro taking the direct snap, and he races into the middle of the line undaunted into much bigger guys for about a 5-yard gain. It will be 3rd and 5 coming now after that pickup of 5 by Lapakayoro.
I'll tell you what, he dashed into the middle there, made contact with the linebacker, and he kept his legs moving.
Yeah.
And he was not easy to bring down. That was impressive.
And he's coming off for a breather, too. And that would be good if Brandon Stevens, well, actually, he's coming back out there. He went to the sideline, and Brandon Stevens is telling him to get back here. A lot of movement out there and confusion by the Plano offense. Brandon Stevens bootlegs, rolls out right, throws a little floater, caught at the 11-yard line by the tight end over there. I think it was Conley McCabe making the grab there for Plano.
And there seemed to be a lot of confusion on that play with Yoro running out, then running back in at the last second, some motion going on, and then it all ended up working out in the end as Stevens booted out right and completed his first pass of the evening.
Straight out back formation, Quinn Waterbury hands off. A flag flies as Brandon Stevens gets the handoff, and he's going to be tackled as he reaches the 4. Over there making the tackle was Brandon Baskew, but I think this flag is going to be on Plano for either holding or an illegal formation call.
Yeah, it was right there in that area, and it does look like it's going to be holding on Plano.
Head referee Miles McCord does indicate holding. That will back up the Wildcats 10 yards and make it 1st and 20 from the 20. And I'm not sure, but I thought maybe it's 1st and goal. I was thinking Plano might be able to actually get a first down again, but they may be just inside that 10-yard line when they started that new series of downs. So Plano back to the line, and it is Brandon Stevens bootlegging against the grain to the left side. He's going to be pulled down by Austin McKee, who tracks him down back and around the 24-yard line in Flower Mound territory. They're going to give him the 23, call it a loss of 3, and it'll be 2nd and goal from that spot for the Wildcats.
And that was a nice play there by McKee, flying in and making the tackle one-on-one with Brandon Stevens. No easy task. Great job by McKee, who we saw make a couple big plays in the backfield during the first half as well. He's having a good game tonight.
This time it appears that Quinn Waterbury is in the shotgun, but Brandon Stevens back there too. Kind of dual quarterback. Screen pass out to Brandon Stevens, and he's wrapped up and tackled to the 23. Great, sure, open field tackle made by Tyson Spencer at that spot. Tyson Spencer playing good assignment football, sniffing out that call.
Yeah, another good secure tackle on Brandon Stevens, 2 in a row. We saw McKee and then we saw Spencer both wrapping him up in one-on-one situations, and that shows the best of this Flower Mound defense, which is open field tackling, breaking down, securing the tackle, and making the play in a one-on-one situation.
Ian Lawrence comes out for a moment after that play. 3rd and goal from the 23. It is Waterbury getting the shotgun snap, tucking it under, trying to run, and going to be pulled down by Austin McKee, who really is having a great game in what is not a terrific night for Flower Mound as they trail by 3 touchdowns, but he is really excelling tonight.
Yeah, and 2 out of the last 3 plays were great plays by McKee and really got Flower Mound in this situation where they forced Plano into a long field goal attempt.
And on to try what would be a 40-yard field goal is Tyler Brogan. And Matt Kirchner to hold. Big rush. It is no good. A line drive kick that sailed just to the left of the upright. So the score remains 28-7. And the Jaguars make a defensive stand and will take over at that spot. Flower Mound would like to say thanks to Steve Swanson at Whirly Ball for sponsoring this broadcast tonight. Corporate events, team building, and private parties are more fun when you're zipping around than a whirlybug, and they have the most affordable laser tag in town. 2 locations to serve you, Plano and Hurst. Leagues are starting up now, so visit them online at whirlyball.info for more information. And Lens Cap Photo Marketing, a professional corporate business and event photography company. We thank them too. 28-7 our score, and a flag flies before the play gets underway. And yes, head referee Miles McCord is signaling a legal substitution, which I thought that's what it would be, the way they threw the flag before the play even got underway. Lens Cap Photo Marketing, a professional corporate business and event photography company that provides a visual history of your event through high-quality images. They are proud to sponsor tonight's broadcast. Remember, when planning that special event, hire the photographer you need to get the pictures you want. For more information, please check their ad in the Jaguar football program or visit them online at lenscapmarketing.com as the Jaguars make another procedure penalty here before this play gets underway. So after a great defensive stop to seize the momentum, Taylor, kind of going back the other way now.
And another important thing to note is Logan Davis is back on the field. After we saw him take that intense hit last series, he's back out there at quarterback.
Stretch play to Chris Boban, and this doesn't result in much at all. They look like the movement was kind of carrying both players toward the same spot for a second and allowed the defenders to kind of key on both.
Yeah, it did look like that, and everybody kind of got in there at the same time. And that was, I believe, just the second traditional handoff running play we've seen to Boban tonight. And this is the second week in a row where we've seen a dearth of actual running plays to a running back from this Jaguar offense.
You would think those might catch the opponent off guard. They see him so seldom, but nonetheless it didn't. And it is 2nd and 25 after the no gain. Logan Davis in the shotgun. 3-step drop at his own goal line. Screens it out. Pass is caught at the 8, but taken down immediately almost on the far side of the field. That's Grayson Hoagland, the Hound, that time, making that catch, but not able to break free of the grasp of, I think, Colson Pusateri and Ja'Cory Sanders in on that stop. Good open field tackle by Sanders with putting the helmet up high in the chest of Hoagland. Trips to the right side this time. Basically 2 receivers to the left. 3rd and a mile, about 23 needed. Davis going to tuck it under. I guess he feels well enough to run. He's only going to get about 5 yards on this. They'll have more punting room, but at least if he's able to get in there and take a hit, that's pretty good progress from the injury he sustained early in the quarter.
Yeah, it looked like he may have hurt his lower back a little bit. I guess it was nothing too serious, which is really great to see, and great to see him back on the field. But a tough possession for Flower Mound as they end up backing up 9 yards on the possession as they prepare here to punt from their own 1 yard line.
In contrast to some of these other games we've had this season, there's very little wind tonight. It's not a factor at all. The flag's hanging straight down. Josh Grant standing back at his own 1 yard line, and T.J. Lee back to receive at about the midfield stripe, and it's a fake, and Davis is going to throw it, and it is caught! Oh, my goodness! Way it's deflected out of the hands of one receiver and caught by the trailing receiver. And I'm not sure if that was Austin Bullard or who made the catch over there. It may have been Dylan Gorlick on that grab, but the most unconventional, immaculate reception play you'll see there. Not exactly probably like they drew it up, but pretty close, and it goes for a first down. Wow.
What a play. What a play. That was great.
Davis in the shotgun, throws far side, caught at the 45, running to the 49, and I think he's got a first down on the far side of the field was Freddie Jackson with the grab, and he's got enough for the 11-yard gain. They're going to give him an extra yard progress. I wasn't sure where they were going to give him progress on that because I wasn't sure if he stepped back or got pushed back. But an 11-yard gain, and the Jaguars on the move. And tell you what, if they're able to turn this into points, you've got a new ball game here in that crazy play that they converted. It all goes back to that. Davis, quick draw, pass on the slant to Brendan Alves across the 46 to the 44-yard line, and he gets up and gets kind of rudely shoved around a little bit. Dane Marwood kind of in there in between some Plano guys mixing it up, but good for an 8-yard gain. Jaguars trying to move the sticks again. Clock under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. It is 2nd and 2. Jaguars trailing 28-7, but on the move.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple nice passes by Logan Davis on the last 2 plays. We'll see if they continue to throw the ball around here on 2nd down.
Play clock down to 10. Davis, quick drop. Looks left, throws long, and it's incomplete. And, wow, looked like a lot of contact over there on Quentin Morris, the intended receiver, by the defender on the far side of the field, Jacory Sanders. But no flag. That looked like it warranted a flag, I got to say.
Yeah, as Sanders cut in front of the receiver there, it looked like he bumped him quite a bit and threw him off his route.
And we've seen Quentin Morris get impeded tonight in a holding penalty call. Movement in the line. Plano showing blitz, but then they peel it back. They've got 9 guys in the box.
Yeah, they look like they have no high safety on this play. This could be a spot where they take advantage of that on the outside.
Maybe a deep slant. It is going to be a deep slant. He's caught at the 33 and stride to the 25-20, 15-10 goes Freddie Jackson on that grab. A gain of 33. And am I John Madden or what?
That was quite the call right there. Deep slant right before the snap, and what do you know? It was a deep slant.
Sometimes a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Should be a play caller right there. Gained about 30 yards. Very nice.
Well, it was pretty open, like you said, no high safety, and the 9 guys in the box, and there's got to be somebody open.
And that was a
he can
great
get
throw.
any separation. On
great
the
route, and a great fire throw in there by Logan Davis. Got a chance here at the 11-yard line.
Trips right, one receiver, wide to the left. Ball on the left hash. Davis sprint draw, tucks it under, gets it across the 10 to about the 8. Short gain there of about 3. They can get a first down. They would have to get it to about the 1.5-yard line. Clock under 30 seconds now in the third quarter of play. Jaguars trailing by 3 scores, but trying to get back in this one. They had a chance right at the end of the first half. And on 4th and 8 at the 10-yard line, they weren't able to convert either a first down or a touchdown and turned it over on downs with about 2 minutes left in the half. Davis shouting out information to all his players across the line, but he's got plenty of time, 17 seconds left on the play clock. But play is summarily stopped. That's the end of the quarter, actually. It'll be 2nd and 7 when we come back. Jaguars on the move, but trailing 28-7. You're listening to Flower Mound Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
Well, it is 28-7 here at John Clark Stadium. Homecoming for Plano, and Flower Mound would like nothing more than to dash the homecoming festivities for the home team. They have the ball 2nd and 7 at the Wildcat 8. And on this series, it really looked like it had been a quick 3 and out, actually a 4 and out with all the penalties, that had backed them up. They had 4th and 23 and faked the punt, and the most unlikely of completions, deflecting off one Jaguar recipient in and out of his hands to another, and it worked out perfectly. Now they got to turn it into points here. Logan Davis in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right, a lot of guys across the front. Logan Davis rolls out right, throws toward the end zone, another tipped and almost completed pass. It went out of the hands of the initially intended receiver, Nick Ryan, and Brendan Alves behind him almost came up with the touchdown reception. I think Brendan Alves or Dylan Gorlick might have been the one on the fake punt. There were so many guys over there. After that play, you couldn't tell who got it and who caught it and who deflected it and that kind of thing. We have a Plano guy. Defender shaken up here momentarily, but I guess he's going to get T.J. Lee. He's going to slowly jog across the line, and they're going to have somebody come in for him. Spelling him is going to be Obali Inaire. Say that 10 times fast, Taylor.
I'll leave that to you.
That's a Wheel of Fortune puzzle you have to figure out later. Logan Davis in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. Quick drop. Throws for the end zone. It is incomplete. It looked like Nick Ryan may have had a touchdown for a moment, but unable to hang on. It brings up 4th and 7. You've got to go for it here. You can get a first down at just inside the 2. Grayson Hoagland is in as the hound. Freddie Jackson is a wide receiver on the left.
I really thought Nick Ryan was going to bring that one in. That one, Logan Davis threaded through a few defenders there on that deep slant into the end zone. Nice pass by Davis, but Ryan unable to bring it in.
Plano's going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 11:48 to play. 4th and 7 when we come back. You're listening
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
Well, it is 4th and 7 for the Jaguars, and this might be the best chance to get back into this one. 11:48 left in the contest, and Jaguars down 28-7, but they could sure cut into half of it right here. Cut the lead in half.
Yeah, they can still get a first down if they get down to about the 1.5 yard line. So they don't have to get in the end zone here. But, of course, that would be preferable so they can get back within 2 scores and keep as much time as possible on the clock.
One back set. That is Chase Lemke back there with Logan Davis ostensibly to block. He moved kind of early. No flag, though. Davis under pressure. And he is going to, he escapes a lot of pressure. He throws for the end zone. He's got a man. It is incomplete. Batted away. They had 2 or 3 guys back in there, but Plano countered with about 3 or 4 guys to help bat that one away. Davis did a great Houdini job escaping all those sacks, and it looked like maybe the back just moved a little bit early, but play went on. I'm really surprised they didn't stop that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. It looked like it may have been a false start, but they continued it, and then Logan Davis, like you said, pulled a Houdini. There was about 3 or 4 Wildcats in the backfield with him. He was able to avoid all of them and at least gave the receivers a chance to make a play in the end zone, although they were relatively well covered by Plano defenders.
Flower Mound defenders creeping up to the line, and Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap but hands it to Lapaka Yoro, I beg your pardon, for a gain of about 8 on that quick hitter up the middle to the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2. And Austin McKee and Tyson Spencer both were kind of bearing down up at the line from their linebacker positions there, looking for a play coming out to the edge probably. See if Flower Mound can contain them more on this play. 2nd and short, 2 needed. Shotgun formation. Man goes in motion from right to left. And Stevens hands it to Lapaka Yoro, and he's got running room over the left side for a gain of about 9 again to the 27-yard line and a Plano first down.
Yoro does a great job of finding those holes in there and squeezing through, and then he can make some people miss. I mean, he's not a very big guy, but he can squeeze through those holes, make people miss, and he's got a few long runs tonight, and he's shown what he can do out there on the field.
Coming into the game, he had 283 yards rushing on the season and was averaging 6.6 a carry. So pretty good numbers there by Yoro in a small sample, or a decent sampling size. Shotgun again. Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap and gets away from pressure in the backfield. Escapes one tackle, more tackles, but he's going to be pulled down after a lot of running and a net 2-yard gain. Blake Winters and Chris Irvin and some others, including Aaron Natchez, come up to make the stop, but he turned what could or should have been a 4-yard loss into a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, he probably ran about 20 or 30 yards on that play to gain about 3 yards, but a number of Jaguars were back there pursuing him and made a few miss, and like you said, turned in a loss into a 3-yard gain and gives Plano a manageable 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, man goes in motion there from left to right, and they run the sweep toss to Lapaka Yoro, and a flag flies. Chase Lemke pulls him down and takes his helmet off too. So that time Yoro will have to come out after his helmet pops off there. And we'll see the meaning of this flag from head referee Miles McCord. Carson Williams, a wide receiver, 155-pound sophomore into the game for Plano.
And they call a illegal hands to the face on the Flower Mound defense, which gives Plano an automatic first down.
Wow. So Flower Mound with over 8 penalties in the game tonight. They have been pretty costly throughout. Whether they've been for 5 yards or 15 yards, they have just been costly.
Yeah, we were saying before the game how last week Flower Mound really had the penalties to a minimum, and they've seen that creep up as they have double the number of penalties tonight that they had last week against McKinney-Boyd.
Wing right side, direct snap goes to Brandon Stevens. Running room out to the edge to the 50, 45, 40, 35-yard line. And inside the 30 to the 29-yard line goes Brandon Stevens. A quick pickup of 20 yards for the really talented running back, the 192-pound junior. Brandon Stevens for Plano, and another first down.
Brandon Stevens now with 230 yards rushing on the night and those 3 touchdowns he had in the first half as he continues to plug away here in the fourth quarter.
Quinn Waterbury in the shotgun, and he gives to Stevens, and then he pitches it back to Dejon Howard, coming on the reverse. And Ian Lawrence was there to wait for him. Ian Lawrence with some fresh legs into the game, and really good football assignment there. Sound assignment football he was playing to be waiting for him there, even though he got a gain of 3. It could have been more.
Yeah, a lot of times you see those reverse plays end up turning into big plays, but the Jaguar defense stayed disciplined on that play, made a good strong tackle, and held it to 4 or 5 yards.
Flower Mound, 4 linemen up top, 2 guys cheating in from their linebacker spots. Brandon Stevens takes the direct snap over the right hash. He goes for about 3 yards to the 22-yard line, and it will be third and about 3 needed. Flower Mound would desperately like to make a stop here and kind of stop the bleeding here that Plano has caused since that takeaway on downs.
Yeah, and this has been a long drive for Plano since that takeaway, so to be able to stop them and not let them score would be a huge morale boost for the Flower Mound defense.
Double tight end set right. Now they both shift over to the left side. Sweep toss to Lapacayero, and he's going to be pulled down and tripped up, but not until he crosses the 20 to about the 18 or 17, and he's got the yardage needed for the first down. They needed 3, and he got about 4.5, and he moves the sticks for the Wildcats. And time's starting to really be a problem for the Jaguars here, who were not able to convert on 2 deep drives tonight. Otherwise, you could see quite a different ball game. We could have it within a touchdown here.
Yeah, and they were very close on both of those. The one to end the half could have made it 28-14, and then the one to start there in the late third, early fourth quarter could have made it 28-21.
Double tight end set right. They give it back to Brandon Stevens, who makes a move to his left, tries to get away, but he is brought down by a couple of Jaguars over there that would not let go, and Blake Winters and Chris Irvin. Good pursuit by those guys. Stevens did get 5, but it looked like it was going to be a whole lot more, and those guys hung on to his legs and wouldn't let go.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle, a nice gang tackle there by the Jaguar defense. The one tough thing about this drive for the Jaguars, though, is it is eating a lot of time off of that clock as they move down the field slowly but surely.
2nd and 5 at the 12-yard line. Sweep toss coming to Brandon Stevens. Coming to the near side to the 15, 10 to the 5. Dodges a tackle, and he's going to be called out of bounds at the 3-yard line, maybe? I think that's what the call is going to be.
Yeah, he must have stepped outside just barely on the sideline there at about the 3-yard line. Made a nice move there, but must have just got his toe on the white as they are now in a first and goal situation.
Carson Williams and Bobby Gray come in here to join Brandon Stevens. Quinn Waterbury checks out on this play. It is 1st and goal now from the 3. Carson Williams splits out wide. And also Sam Arango splits out wide left as keeping it is Brandon Stevens again for another touchdown, his 3rd or 4th of the night.
That is fourth rushing touchdown of the night.
And on to try the extra point here for the Plano Wildcats will be Tyler Brogan, who is also 4 of 4 on the night and now 13 of 15 on the season. Snap to Kirchner's good. The kick is high, long, and good, and Tyler Brogan gives Plano a 35-7 lead. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Champion Sports Radio's presentation of Jaguar football.
We'll see projections for the next quarter are.
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Plano set to kick off here, leading 35-7 now, back at John Clark Stadium, and Christian Brogan's kick is fielded at the 10-yard line, coming to the 15, up to the 20 with the ball, and all the way to the 21-yard line is the return man, Nick Ryan. And Plano in command now with a big lead.
And we'll see what type of offensive strategy Flower Mound comes out with. On the last possession, they hit a lot of short and intermediate passes that were able to get them down the field relatively quickly, but they also had help from that immaculate reception, as you said, on that punt. They gained them quite a few yards and got them the first down, but they were able to move the ball through short and intermediate passes from Logan Davis to a variety of receivers, but it looks like we may have a new QB in here for Flower Mound.
And that looks like it may be Zach Bradford, who's a senior. And he throws near side, caught by Devin Coleman up around the 28 to the 30-yard line.
That's my fault. I thought it may have been Hayden Hauser, but it is still Logan Davis out there for the Jaguars.
Well, Hayden Hauser's a good bit smaller, but Zach Bradford's about his size, and they're tough to tell apart. And it looks like Logan Davis has a sleeve on that he didn't have on.
And I think that's what made me think it was somebody else.
So, nonetheless, that's good for a first down on that passing play. And Davis back to fire it again on first down, and that was intended for Colton Wilson, but thrown a little bit behind him maybe. And Wilson on his pattern, not able to reach back and get it. It brings up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass with 5:55 to play. Aaron Epping back into the game here as a receiver, and some new faces in there. We've seen a lot of receivers play tonight. They got some new ones in there here. I'll get to them in a moment. I think Chris Irvin may be in there. Logan Davis fires wide, caught at the 29-yard line, up to the 30. Breaking tackles and going out to the 32, and then the 35-yard line. With the ball is Flower Mound's Jake Sikora, rather. Jack Sikora on that catch. They've used so many, it's tough to keep track of them all. Grayson Hoagland in there now, along with Devin Coleman and Freddie Jackson. Those are some guys we've seen and called their names a lot. Play clock down to 7. Davis in the shotgun fires in a deep slant, caught by Devin Coleman at the 46, all the way up to the 50-yard line, dragging tacklers with him there. Good for a first down and a pickup of 14 yards. With 5:01 to play, clock stops momentarily to move the chains. Flower Mound's at least got to get a score on this drive for composure's sake, you would think.
And this looks similar to their last drive with a lot of those short passes over the middle and to the outside that are gaining them chunks of yardage at a time.
Davis' arm still looks pretty good and strong, too, this late in the game. Gives a stiff arm there as he rolls out right to the oncoming defender over there that was hounding him. That was big 62 for Plano. I don't know if that was Cliffon Harrison or another defender over there for the Wildcats. Cedric Cook, the big 5'8", 231-pound senior tackle. And Davis gave him quite a stiff arm there. 2nd and 10. 3-step drop. Looking right. It's caught up around the 48 and all the way to the 45-yard line in Wildcat territory with a catch and a flag at the end of that is Dylan Tillotson. Flag on that play, and we'll see what head referee Miles McCord signals here. A face mask on Plano, so that should be tacked on to the end of the play. The junior Tillotson making the grab there for the Jaguars. So again, they spread it out to about 11 different receivers here tonight.
Yeah, there's been a lot of receivers in the action. There was 9 in the first half, and we may be on to a new season high for receivers for Flower Mound, as that is 14 different receivers to catch a pass.
Well, there's been 3 in the last 3 plays as Davis tucks it under, keeps, has the 30, the 25-yard line, a gain of about 7 on that quarterback keeper by design. Clock under 4 minutes now and running. Yeah, Dylan Tillotson and Jack Sikora getting their first catches of the night on this drive. And if they're included in that mix of players, then, 14, that's a lot. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing to distribute it like that. Davis tucks it under and keeps. Has running room to the right side to the 25-20. Keeps his footing to the 15, 10, 5 to the 3-yard line. Goes Logan Davis, a gain of 22. A nice play there on that keeper. He's got some speed and wheels and strength, and it's good to see after the guy took a shot like he did early in the third quarter that he's able to come back and play like that. That is really a testament to his strength and fortitude and desire.
Yeah, it is. He's a tough guy, and he's played a tough game tonight, and he's really done well in getting this team down into the red zone, get some more points on the board.
A timeout is called by Plano with 3:32 to play. We'll take it here with them. 1st and goal when we come back. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Football fans, with the Raising Cane's tailgate on the table, this meal is going into overtime. The first overall pick for any game comes piled high with hot, fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers and totally dippable cane sauce. So let's hear the stats. That's 100 chicken fingers, 100% premium, and 100% delicious. And with cold, refreshing jugs of lemonade and sweet tea also coming straight out of Raising Cane's, well, let's just say that's a full roster of flavor. Raising Cane's, one love.
Well, it is 1st and goal for the Flower Mound Jaguars. And, Taylor, the good news is tonight they have really had a lot of opportunities. They've had about 4 deep into the red zone, and they've cashed in on 1.
They really have. They've had some great sustained drives to get them down here. Haven't been able to capitalize on all of them, but we'll see here if they're able to punch this one in from the 3-yard line.
Chase Lemke in as a fullback, and he's going to provide a lead block for Logan Davis. But Davis on the keeper, not able to get much running room. He might have got to about the 1 or the 2-yard line. A gain of about 1 to the 2, call it. It'll be 2nd and goal. So while he's gotten some good runs out to the edge on the keeper, they might have to direct him out to the wide side of the field. And he's kind of holding out his hands like, what's the play? What's going on? Clock's running. It stopped for a second. Now it's running again. 3:25 and counting.
It looks like there was a penalty on that last play as we're now first down once again, but now the ball backed up to the 8-yard line.
Did not see any indication at all about it. And the shotgun, Davis gives the misdirection play to the back, Quentin Morris, who stays on his feet and piles forward to about the 4-yard line, depending on his progress. Actually, that was Chase Lemke on the carry.
Yeah.
And where are they going to mark him? That is the question. As the clock continues to run, they're only going to give him progress to the 7, it looks like.
See, that's interesting because he took a hit there at about the 7, but he flipped up and his elbow, his knee, nothing ever touched the ground.
Right.
So
he should have had about 3 more yards, you'd think. Clock at 2:35 and counting. 2nd and goal at the 7. And Davis fakes the handoff, keeps under pressure. Now he's going to be sacked back outside the 17, but he got piled on I thought a little bit late, but no flag there. 2:19, and kind of his helmet comes off. Now he will probably have to exit for this play, I would think.
Yeah, it looks like he does have to jog off, and it looks like Hauser's coming on, and this is for a big third down play here, and that's a tough break for Flower Mound. I thought they were going to catch a break because I thought he took a little bit of a late hit, but no flag came out.
Yeah, so Hayden Hauser comes on here. It's third and they're going to give him progress to the 12. I thought he was going to be marked back at the 17, but they gave him 5 more yards of progress. Hauser tucks it under, tries to keep his footing, and can only get back to about the 14-yard line. So he's going to lose 2, and it's going to be 4th and goal from the 14-yard line. So again, Jaguars had 1st and goal at the 3. Hauser coming out, and Davis will come back on to engineer this last play. One way or another, this is probably going to be the last offensive play for Flower Mound, as it is 4th and goal from the 14-yard line. They had 1st and goal from the 3, and just a penalty and a sack and another tackle for loss have backed them up.
Yeah, this is tough. We were just talking about they've had a few trips to the red zone but haven't been able to take advantage, and this may happen again.
Heavy pressure coming. Davis throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Now there's a flag, and that should have been, Nick Ryan waving his arms. Where's the penalty? And so they will get a new set of downs here at about the 2 because that was unequivocally pass interference.
Yeah, that was certainly pass interference, and so Flower Mound is going to get another set of 4 downs to try to get this ball in the end zone, get some positive momentum for the offense going into next week, and I think this would be big for them to get their confidence back up because they have struggled so much in the red zone tonight.
Yeah, and about to fall to 0-3 in district play, and you just don't get many tune-ups in this one. They only got 2 non-district games to play this year. A new set of downs, 1st and goal at the 2, but clock now down to 1:08, so they really would have to score here and get an onside kick to try to get it respectable there and make up for the other chances they had earlier. Davis gives the handoff to Boban, and he stopped into the middle of the pile at about the 2-yard line, and maybe he lost a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
And it's interesting, they moved the ball all the way down here, throwing the ball around. I know it's tough to throw the ball inside the 5, but now they're trying to run it. We see Boban on the field for just the 3rd or 4th time tonight. So we have 3 more plays. We'll see if they take some chances and throw to the end zone. But right now they're letting a lot of time tick off the clock. Just 34 seconds left.
They sure are. 2nd and goal from the 3, and they give it to Boban again. Big hole up the middle this time, and he's in for the touchdown. Chris Boban scores with 25 seconds to play to make it 35-13 Plano. And Richard Kelly will, who we haven't seen in a while since the first quarter, will come on here to try the extra point. Logan Davis was going to hold it, but he's going to give way to a new player to hold this. I think it's Brandon Houston. And the kick is up. And did he miss it? I think he may have missed this. It's no good. Richard Kelly's extra point goes awry. So our new score is 35-13. We'll take a break and come back in a moment with more Flower Mound football on Champion Sports Radio.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
You know, I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Well, Brendan Hustava, was the new placeholder instead of Logan Davis for that extra point attempt. That one missed by Richard Kelly, only his second miss of the season. And Josh Grant on to kickoff here. Will they onside kick it? They're going to pooch it high. They could get to this. It's possibly live. Oh, and Matt Kirchner takes a little bit of a hit. I think the cover guy tried to slow down, but he couldn't avoid Kirchner, who was down on a knee, and a flag flies, and rightly so on this one.
Yeah, Kirchner, he didn't fair catch it, but he did catch it on his knee, and Jaguar coverage man just kind of plowed right into him. But I don't think it was intentional, like you said. He just couldn't slow himself down. He was trying to get to the football.
And that's the kind of kick, when you, in lieu of an onside kick that goes on the ground and you get a bounce, you want to pooch that up, but you probably want to not pooch it so deep.
Right.
You probably want to take about 10 yards off that and just keep it about that height level.
You want to get it as much height as possible, but keep it as short as possible as long as it's beyond that 10-yard limit, and then try to recover it. It's pretty hard to get down there and cover when it's that long of a kick.
Oh, Plano will take a knee this time. Quinn Waterbury will drop to a knee, and Flower Mound with all 3 timeouts left, but they won't elect to use any. They will take it to the sidelines and meet at the midfield stripe to shake hands and wish each other well the rest of the season. Plano boosts their record now to 3-2 on the season, and 1-2 in district play, or 2-1 in district play, I beg your pardon. They had beaten Hebron 2 weeks ago 35-14, and their out-of-district win was over Irving MacArthur about 3 weeks ago. So they moved their record to 3-2 on the season, 2-1 in district. Flower Mound falls to 1-4 and 0-3 in district. 35-13, our final. We'll take a break and come back to wrap it up here on the In Command Broadcasting postgame show. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar football on Champion Sports Radio.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Back at John Clark Stadium to wrap it up here on the In Command Broadcasting post-game show. Barry Probst and Taylor Wilson with you here tonight as Flower Mound falls to the Plano Wildcats by a count of 35-13. And things started off real well for Flower Mound, Taylor. They could have asked for a much better start, but then kind of unraveled on them in the second quarter.
Yeah, they really got off to a great start with a couple of really big plays. Started off the game with an interception after Plano had gotten down deep into their territory, got the interception, then drove down the field, had a couple of fourth down conversions on that first drive, and struck first on a 42-yard Logan Davis touchdown run. He really showed off his speed there and took an early 7-0 lead. Unfortunately, following that touchdown, the Wildcats of Plano were able to put up 28 unanswered points and just really put this thing out of reach. And it was actually, 35 unanswered points before Flower Mound was able to get on the board again to finish it off at 35-13. But I do think in the end, we saw a lot of improvement over the game last week against McKinney-Boyd.
Yeah, we definitely did that because they got off to a hot start. And even on the drives that didn't amount for points, they managed to really move it down the field and keep their defense off the field. So they had kind of a double success package going on there by doing that, keeping their defense off the field and rested. And you could tell it when their defense came out, even though they were probably a little bit bummed by not getting a score. The defense looked charged up like, hey, we're back in this thing. We can get back in this thing. And they believed it. And they played to that effort and capability. But the problem was they weren't converting any of the scores. You know, they did get to do that last one thanks to a pass interference penalty call that gave them a new set of downs. Otherwise, that would have been 3 drives deep in the red zone that would have amounted in no points.
And, I mean, if we look at the second half, like you said, the defense seemed to really get on top of things that second half. They held Plano to 7 points in the second half because it was 28-7 going into the locker room, and they didn't score again. Plano scored at the 7:46 mark in the second quarter and didn't score again until the 6:29 mark in the fourth quarter. So they held them quite a while without any points, and Flower Mound had opportunities to get themselves back into this game, got in the red zone twice, or two or three times, and were just unable to punch it in, unable to get any points on the board, which is what kept that separation. But I feel like this game was closer than it shows. I mean, it shows 35-13 on the scoreboard, but Flower Mound 2 or 3 different times should have, or at least had chances to, get in the end zone, and were within 5 or 10 yards of doing so.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think Flower Mound, I don't know if they felt that way last week. I think they kind of maybe they didn't quit, but I think they maybe felt out of it and like, oh my gosh, this is insurmountable. Whereas tonight they didn't feel that way, and they kept driving and kept regaining their composure and regrouping and getting it back together and playing with a lot of spirited effort tonight. Whereas when you're down 30-something to nothing, that can really take it out of you. But when you know that you have some success early, you get a score, you get a drive. Hey, we drove 90 yards down the field, guys, and we made this happen with some great play calling, and good things can happen if we stay with it. They had that feeling with them tonight.
Yeah, and they even statistically, they were so much better tonight than they were last week. Just a great performance, 276 total yards. Not their highest of the year, but a definite improvement with 14 total first downs. The offensive star of the night was certainly Logan Davis. He ended up 18 of 35 for 169 yards throwing the ball. Did have the 1 interception and no touchdowns, but then running the ball, had his most productive night in a few weeks, 14 attempts for 99 yards and a touchdown. So overall, I felt like statistically, and even what we saw on the field that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, the Flower Mound Jaguars played a good game tonight, in an improved game over last week, and they just battled against another top running back once again, this time Brandon Stevens finishing with 25 rushes for 271 yards and 4 touchdowns. And that's just something the Jaguars have to prepare for, and they know they have to prepare for it. Coach Johnson has mentioned every week that they're facing off with top-flight running backs, and every week we come out here and we see another top-flight running back, and so it's just something they got to face every week. But this week I feel like overall as a team, Flower Mound much improved over last week.
Yeah, and they won't do much conventional running, like he said in the pregame show, whether they're up 50 or down 50. They just won't do it, lacking the size on the line. But they did pull in a couple of tight ends on one drive and a few plays, so they're maybe willing to give it a little bit longer look there. But they'd like to do that to take the pressure off Logan Davis and then some of their receivers out there that have to, that's one of the reasons they have to shuttle in so many receivers as they run so many routes, and those guys are pretty tired and a half, and then so you do have the need for 14 guys to play and catch passes, and it's hardly any guys I don't think didn't catch a pass. I know Matthew Schroer had one thrown his way, and I think it was kind of behind him, and I'm not sure if Colton Wilson came up with a grab tonight. He may have, but they were in there, and those are guys they need to give him an option.
Yeah, and the last time I checked the stat sheet when I was saying it was a season high, Dylan Tittleton's catch had not shown up yet. So 15 receivers tonight caught a ball for Flower Mound. We were talking about how 9 or 10 is just huge. I mean, you'll see some teams. I mean, if we look at Plano, they had three people catch passes tonight. They had Brandon Stevens and then 2 wide receivers catch a pass tonight. You look at Flower Mound and you got 15 wide receivers catching a pass. That just shows incredible depth. And it's good because you can keep your offensive playmakers fresh out there, and you're not relying on any one person too much, at least in the playmaking role. They do rely on quarterback Logan Davis a lot, but they get the ball in the hands of a lot of different players on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, we will take a quick break and come back again with more of the In Command Broadcasting post-game show. You're listening to Flower Mound Jaguar Football and Champion Sports Radio.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Welcome back to the In Command Broadcasting postgame show here at John Clark Stadium in Plano. Our final tonight, Flower Mound falling to Plano 35-13. LensCap Photo Marketing is a professional corporate business and event photography company. They provide a visual history of your event through high-quality images. Remember, when planning that special event, hire the photographer you need to get the pictures you want. For more information, please check their ad in the Jaguar football program or visit them online at lenscapmarketing.com. Well, some other scores in North Texas tonight in high school football include South Lake Carroll bombing Abilene 63-28. Saxe beats Garland. They get the offense going and hold off the Owls 35-30. Arlington Martin all over Arlington Lamar. That one's gotten ugly, 67-13 in the fourth quarter. Flower Mound Marcus had an upset bid over the number 2 team in the nation, Allen, and the Allen Eagles come back to defeat the Marauders 35-24. Taylor, a unbelievable setting there and a magnificent comeback by Allen.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at the stats from that game, and typically we look at Allen's stats, and Kyler Murray puts up huge numbers, and everybody puts up huge numbers. Marcus outgained them 474-295.
Holy moly. And Marcus is not known for having an offensive pedigree, really. Not since the days of Q Britton.
Yeah, so that
way
is
back when.
That's impressive. They came up with a loss, but to take like you said, a top 5 team in the nation, not just the state, but the nation, down to the wire like that, got to give it to the Marauders.
We saw McKinney Boyd last week, and they looked really impressive, but Plano West is showing them up tonight. The Wolves are devouring McKinney Boyd tonight, 62-23 in the fourth quarter. Mansfield falling to Duncanville right now, 20-17. It's still going in the fourth quarter. Mansfield Timberview ahead of Lancaster, 34-30 in the third. Mansfield Summit beats Legacy tonight, 42-7. Kennedale crushing Dallas Carter, 63-13 in the fourth quarter of play. Carrollton Ranchview ahead of Aubrey, 29-7 in the fourth. Salina blows out Melissa tonight, 43-7. Kaufman beats Palestine, 28-7. Pilot Point roughs up Bonham, 57-14. Brook shuts out Venus, 69-0. Sanger demolishes Whitesboro, 42-7. The Highlands Park Scots trailed 9-7 to North Mesquite in the first half and turned it on in the second half, winning 29-9. Rockwall, meanwhile, has Garland Lakeview doubled up in the fourth quarter, 70-35. Lincoln ahead of beats Lake Worth, 33-21. Mesquite Horn is beating Mesquite 42-21 in the fourth. Richardson ahead of Richardson Pierce, 41-30 in the fourth. And Lake Highlands knocks off Richardson Berkner at the Boneyard tonight, 37-22. Jesuit all over Sunset, 47-7. Trinity beats Colleyville Heritage, 14-0. Capel beats up LD Bell, 42-3. And those are some of the games from around the area in District 6-6A. Taylor, quite a night of football.
Yeah, it is, and I just wanted to add something. The game you were talking about, we saw McKinney Boyd last week, and they looked really good, and Dedrick Scrivens looked good last week. He only finished with 64 yards rushing. But upcoming, later in the season, our Jaguars are going to have to face off against this Plano West rushing attack led by Sosa Jamabo, as you mentioned earlier. He scored 7 touchdowns tonight.
And probably didn't play the entire game.
Probably didn't play the entire game.
He didn't last week. I forget who they beat so badly last week. May have been Hebron. But he barely played the second half. I heard the guys on the radio show talking about him, and he barely got any action, and he'd already put in, a night's work and a half, basically, is what it boiled down to. But also Forney beat Royce City 35-17. Newman Smith shut out Brian Adams 21-0. Mansfield Lake Ridge leads Waxahachie 65-48. It's still going in the fourth quarter. South Oak Cliff beats Molina. Big surprise there, but 71-0.
Oh, man.
And Ennis over Jacksonville Big, 42-24. And Denton Geyer beats Keller 40-33. We saw this Keller team, and Flower Mound held them in check. And for them to put 33 on the board at a good Denton Geyer team, that's pretty impressive showing for the Keller Indians over there and Coach Strelo and his group tonight.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts here tonight, Taylor?
Another good game. I mean, it was tough to see Flower Mound come out with another loss, but I was happy to come here and see Flower Mound as an improved team. I think this week of practice, Coach Dane Johnson really did a great job with his players, and they came out with a strong game plan, and we saw that game plan in action early in the game. Came out aggressive, came out strong offensively, put up a lot of yards offensively, at least compared to the output last week, put up some good yards, had some good defensive stands. Overall, and I've said this several times tonight, this was an improved Flower Mound Jaguar football team, and I think they have them on an upward trend as we head deeper into district play.
I agree. Well, Flower Mound would like to thank the following sponsors: Strategic Direct Solutions, Raising Cane's Chicken, Rapid Med Urgent Care, MBS Today, Lenscap Photo Marketing, Whirly Ball, and In Command Broadcasting, all proud sponsors of Flower Mound Jaguar football. We'll take one quick break and come back and wrap this up in a moment. And the In Command Broadcasting postgame show continues from John Clark Stadium in Plano.
What are you doing, Hazel?
Looking for a power drink for some energy boost for my marketing. I'm dragging.
I saw your marketing tools, your website, brochures. Remember, there's no energy drink or blue pill for business growth. You need a good marketing boost. Call Jeff at mbstoday.com. They will get you straightened out.
Go online at mbstoday.com or call toll-free 1-855-224-2537, extension 103.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Welcome back to the In Command Broadcasting Postgame Show here at John Clark Stadium in Plano. Our final tonight, Flower Mound falling to Plano by a score of 35-13. Well, we want to thank everybody who has helped with this one tonight. Both coaches, Jadon McCullough of Plano and Coach Dane Johnson of Flower Mound for all their help and participation tonight. The pregame interviews, and all of you for listening, and we want you to listen back again next week as Flower Mound will go back to Flower Mound to take on Marcus for the Mound Showdown, and that is next Friday at 7 p.m. is the pregame start time, and the kickoff at 7:30, unless we're delayed again by whatever kind of thing. We delayed us by about 10 minutes tonight, but that is when we can expect to kick off next week. Well, I want to thank Taylor Wilson up here, too. And for him, I'm Barry Probst saying so long tonight from Plano, a final Flower Mound falling to Plano 35-13.